What a weekend. I mean, tremendous weekend, college football. They fired a guy at Florida, and obviously Sunday was one of the wildest games I've seen the Philadelphia Eagles play. They hold on to win 28-22 against the Minnesota Vikings. By the way, appreciate everybody coming aboard. Please hit the like button. Super chats will go to the top. And we're going to get to everything. There is no question. That was a very interesting game against the Minnesota Vikings. We'll go by the numbers here in a second, and I'll give you my quick takeaways here in a second. I mean, you had to come up with a historic game to beat the Minnesota Vikings, or you're not winning that game. Historic game. I don't really even know how the Minnesota Vikings were in that ball game. Carson Wentz was not very good. If there was a team that was doing everything in their power to lose, the Minnesota Vikings were that football team. Everything. I mean, they had no pass rush in that football game. I thought the offensive line and pass protection for the Eagles, I thought they were great in that football game. They were great. Great pass protection. The passing game woke up after 6 weeks. Actually, 6 weeks in a year. The passing game woke up, and that it has to be one of the absolutely best passing performances I've seen Jalen Hurts have. I would say this. That's the best I've seen him throw the ball in about 3 years. I mean, just the best I've seen him throw the ball. Now, that's not going to be on a consistent basis. The passing game hasn't woken up. You're going to have to do a lot more than 4 quarters of football after 6 football games to tell me your passing game is on track again, to sit there and think that that thing's on track. Absolutely not. Let's put a couple games together before we sit here and think that the Eagle passing game is back. I thought the Eagle defense, I thought they gave up a ton of yards. I thought the pass rush was non-existent. I thought your corner struggled mightily. Actually, probably your best game out of Reed Blankenship. What's going on with Barkley? We're going to get to that here in a minute. Is he hurt or just the line? We are NFC divisional round exit if we don't get the running game turned around as soon as possible. Xander, I missed the super here. I appreciate everybody and all your supers. By the way, the only thing that will take us off the open here will be your super chat. So we're going to get to them as much as possible here. Silz, the Jalen Knights are out in droves today. One good game, and he's Dan Marino. Absolutely obnoxious conversation about that. Was not impressive. Thankfully, Carson Wentz is still an Eagle at heart. Otherwise, we lose this game. Josh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Absolutely, one passing game does not turn the fucking corner around. Hey, Xander, can I get Kyle's, please, if I can? Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Kyle will get it up as soon as possible here for you. Thank you very much, guys. We'll get to all your takes. If not, Kyle, do me a favor. Thank you, Z. Sills, I love it when I'm wrong, but by the way, why does the Jets and Dolphins head coach still have their jobs? It's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. One game does not turn your passing game around. Okay? It does not turn your passing game around. So we're going to go by the numbers here. Yo, Sills, love the show. You got to make sure Hurts praise is as loud as the Hurts criticism. He had a really great game. There is no question. There's no debating that. He had a great game. Doesn't make him elite. Doesn't make him anything. He has shown one thing in the time that he's been the quarterback of the Eagles. He is not a consistent passer, and I am not deviating off that. One game doesn't make you an elite guy. It just doesn't. That's the facts. The facts are we have not seen these type of games strung together. Now, I'm not talking about being 150 some odd when it comes to being like you have to have a perfect passer rating. I'm just saying it's too inconsistent. That's got a lot to do with the play calling too. And the type of offensive coordinator you have. So that goes into that realm as well. Okay? So no doubt, he has not shown that he could be an elite passer consistently. I do agree with that. Arthur, he had a very, 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 very exceptional football night. Yes, we'll get to Ohtani later in the show. Maybe the most incredible performance I've ever seen an athlete in any sport have. I've never seen anything like that. That was, I don't think that I have ever seen a more impressive outing by an athlete in my entire life. Silz, do you think the inefficiencies of the O-line, I saw Barkley looking frustrated again. Do you think he is thinking New York all over again? We're going to get to that. I want to get to the numbers, and I do want to give Jalen Hurts a lot of praise here. Okay? I do. He was really great. He was. And for whatever life, here's where I give them a lot of love. Because that's against Brian Flores' second-ranked pass defense. That's not just a great performance against a shitty football team. That's a good performance against a really good coach. I mean, a really good coach. And by the way, Vic Fangio is worth every single cent he gets in what he's doing with that side of the ball. Now, look, my praise stops with that game against the Vikings. It doesn't expand forward. All I know is who he is. That's who he is. Shit, Mac Jones has got as many passing yards and as many wins this year, and he's played in 2 games fewer. Don't talk to me about elite passing games. Okay? Absolutely. There's no crow to eat. Bro, that guy will never be a consistent passer. There's no crow. I'm not deviating off that. And in 2 weeks, we'll be talking about the same shit again. Like we did since he's been at Alabama. But let's not dismiss what he did. Now let's go to the numbers. Let's do team first. 28-22. Vikings, more first downs. The Eagles, horrific as always on third down. 3 and outs once again. 3 and outs. That's what kept the football team, the Minnesota Vikings. That 3 for 10 on third down is what kept Minnesota in the game. Okay? That's what kept them in the game. Was the fact that they had all them 3 and outs again. What up, Silz? Will we make a move before the trading deadline? Jeff DeBone says. Probably a minor one. The run game is bad. Defense is average yet. First place Eagles 5-2. Hurts is elite from the pocket. Never happened. Smitty would be a top 5 to 10 if he was with a guy that threw a lot. Just my opinion. Of course he would be. Hurts is not an elite passer from the pocket. One game against Minnesota does not fucking put that distinction on him. Guys, not a debate. I'm not debating that. You could sit there and tell yourself that all you want. Here we go. Eagles out first down. Here, once again, Minnesota 7 of 15 on third down. This is why they were in the ball game. 67 total plays. They held the Eagles to 49. Now, a lot of that is big explosion plays that they had in the game. Passing, 298 for Wentz, 316 total. That's not the number. Taking sacks obviously was something there, but Jalen was great in the passing game, 19 of 23. 12 yards of play. Minnesota couldn't defend the numbers, man, in that game. They could not defend it. Rushing, both teams were terrible. But believe it or not, the Vikings had more of a rushing game. That's kind of what kept them also in it. How about the Eagles? 2 yards a carry in the ball game. Wow. And of course, the turnovers were a major factor in why the Vikings didn't win that game. Okay? Stop your shit. Hurts has consistently played big. Stop your shit thinking that guy's an elite passer playing. And that. So you think the Minnesota Viking game was a big game? Do you really think that? Refuse to acknowledge what, Marsh? That he's an inconsistent passer? Yesterday even showed me even more. He's going to have games like that. Nobody in their right mind will tell you that guy has played consistent football from the pocket for the last 2 years. I can name you 4 games in 2 years. You stop the shit. Bro, I'm not debating it. Back to the numbers. Let's go to the box. Hurts was great yesterday. 19 of 23, 326. He will never do this again. 14 yards of play, not happening. Took 3 sacks, 158.3 QB rating. Incredible. Saquon Barkley, we're going to get to in a minute. Devontae Smith, great football game. Just an absolutely great game. 9 catches, 11 targets, 183 yards. AJ, 121, 2 TDs. And they were just really great. They were fabulous stuff. No question about it. The passing game awoke for the first time in 2 years. Actually, since the Super Bowl. Since the Super Bowl. Okay? You're right. Since the Super Bowl. So let's see. Super Bowl, 11 months ago. The first 6 games, not existent. And so 1 game in 7. 8 games now. Wait, 1 game in 2 games in 8 games. That's not consistency, dude. Big Silz, I think the identity of the team will be week-to-week thing. Teams moving forward will play cover 2 with an effective pass rush. Yeah, that's one thing that Minnesota couldn't get going. By the way, like I said, an absolutely sensational ball game. He had a great football game. Let's get to the other components here. The defense. They gave up almost 400 yards in total offense. It was 20-20, and they were exceptional inside the red zone. What happened to your all-pro corner and top ring? Interesting you should say that. 1 game doesn't make Hurts. 1 game won't make Rodgers. Simple as that. People get beat in this league. Hey, by the way, when that guy goes back to being the guy and those guys don't get their targets, we'll talk next week and see how that goes, Marsh. Thanks for the super, dude. Appreciate it. He had a perfect rating. How's that not a big game? Okay. He had a perfect game and he still almost lost. He does this the Minnesota Vikings will win 7 games this year. What are you talking about? They'll win 7 ball games. What are you talking about? They'll win 7 games. Eagles can win in so many different. They can't win in so many ways. They can't win running the ball. You act like every team plays the same ball. Jalen finds ways to. Oh, my God. I have to read this because I appreciate you sending it. Finds ways to win when it matters, and he only gets better. That's the only consistency that matters. Okay. Sure. No problem. Silz is so hurt. From what? What? Laughing at all of you? Silz is troll. Wait a minute. You're here. I'm not going trolling anybody. I don't troll people, dude. People come here. So when you say that, it's kind of ass backwards, isn't it? I don't fucking go anywhere to troll. Sil's dumbass said Hurts would never bring a Super Bowl win. We've already talked about that. Okay, let's try to stay on October 20th, dumbass. Every time we need Hurts to come through, boy, you surely did against the Vikings. How you want to look? I don't look foolish, dude. He'll never be a consistent passer from the pocket, ever in his career, ever. And he's proven it. Ever. He will never carry a football team on his back, ever. He had a game where he carried the team last night. He did. If you want to talk about the Viking game, no problem. If you want to talk about the rest of the season or the games leading up, okay, let's do this. Give me Jalen Hurts' grade so far this year as a player. Let me guess, A+. So this game was an anomaly. Of course it was. Play calling is still horrendous. Back to reality. Absolutely. Okay. All right. There are smart people in here. Good. Okay. My takeaway. Jalen's going to have to play like that for you to win almost every game. Every game. Because here's the next one. Barkley shot. I saw an offensive line exceptional in pass protection. I saw an offensive line keep that quarterback in the pocket as clean as possible. You go back and you know what they're doing? They're flooding the lanes. It's not that the offensive line is performing poorly. Hey, by the way, let's do this. How many people in here think that Saquon Barkley shot? How many people believe he shot? He's not. Not me. No fucking way. All right. Well, let's test this out. Let's test this out here. Okay? Okay? How many people think that the Dallas Cowboys have a better offensive line? Looks like Barkley was a one-year wonder. How many people believe in here? Oh, my God. I'll read this, but I don't care. He carried the team for a Super Bowl that's consistent enough for me. Just wait. I'll take those anomaly any days. We don't have to play like that to win. That's me. He's proven. Yeah, whatever, guy. Never be a consistent quarterback in the pocket as long as he plays in the National Football League. Thanks for the super, my friend. I'm old enough to remember when you said Sweat was – I never said Sweat was a nobody. That's such a fucking lie. I said you'd never be able to replace those guys. This is a fucking absolute bullshit lie. I was the one the entire offseason saying you'll never replace those guys on defense. This is an absolute bull-faced fucking lie. Unbelievable. Everyone comes in now. If you're going to come in, at least come in with truths. How many people in here believe? How many people believe? I never said that Josh Sweat was a nobody. How many people in here believe that the Dallas Cowboys, okay? When did I say that Josh Sweat was a nobody? When, Sue? Sue, when did I say that? Tell me when I said it. Tell me when I said that. When did I say this? Josh Sweat was a nobody? When did I say that? One good week and he's Mahomes, I know. I never said that last year. Are you fucking crazy? Sweat was the MVP of the league. Oh my God. I'm okay. Next topic. How many people believe that the Dallas Cowboys have a better offensive line? Silz, how can the run blocking suck, but the pass blocking looks so good? Is it just a point of attack and not moving those D linemen? Okay. How many people believe that, excuse me, how many people believe one way or another you'll never in a million years? I respect what he's done, his resume, absolutely. How many, okay, Dallas has a good offensive line? Clip it. I want to see it. Clip it. Clip it and send it to my Twitter page. Saquon shot. The O-line doesn't have the drive. It's not play calling. It's the quarterback. Make sure when you clip it, you send it to my Twitter page at Dan Sileo Show. Thank you. So then how is Javonte Williams having a better year? How is he having a better year than Saquon Barkley? Dak Prescott's having an MVP season. How? He's second in rushing. Not Barkley. Defense figured out our run game. Okay? Nobody would say in here. Okay? Nobody would say in here that the Dallas Cowboys have a greater O-line. Who cares? Barkley shot. One game doesn't excuse Hurts' mediocre play. Don't tell the folks in here that they think he's Dan Marino now. The O-line was overworked last year. You have a lot to say about Jalen when we are 5-2. Meanwhile, elite quarterbacks like Herbert throw picks every game. That's because those guys are elite players. Hurts is not. So you prefer stats and a worse record over 5-2. So I guess Mac Jones at 5-2 is elite too, right? Is Mac Jones elite? He's 5-2. Is Mac Jones 5? Actually, I think he's 4-1. Is Mac Jones elite? I guess Mac Jones is elite. 3-1, you're glazing those bums. This is ridiculous. You care about, hey, Dak Prescott is having a sensational season. He can't play corner, dude, or rush the passer. He's fucking sensational. Nobody in the NFC East is playing better quarterback. Let me guess, Marsh. You think that fucking dude on the Eagles is playing better than Dak Prescott? Hey, Marsh, you better save your money, bro. Oh, my God. Of course you do. Silz will like me here. That tank running back got a first down and Barkley can't get a yard. Explain it to me. How in the world is the guy from the Cowboys having a better year with a shittier O-line than Barkley? And Dak throws the ball all over the yard. What's the excuse you got for Barkley? It's the O-line? Well, wait a minute. The O-line in Dallas is worse than the one in Philly. Khalid has the super, Xander. I must have missed it. I apologize, brother. We'll get to all of them, my friend. Saquon is consistently getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. Well, then what's the guy in Dallas's fault? 2 seasons ago, when we brought Sweat back, you said it wouldn't move the sticks, and now you're on your knees. Whatever, guy. I don't remember that. You'll have to clip that and send it over to my Twitter page. Let's see here. 3-3-1. Glazing the guy? Well, Dak Prescott's having an MVP season. Yeah, I'm looking over at my Twitter page any day now over on the X account. Make sure you clip it and send it. Barkley's still tired from last year. He's still tired. Hurts can still get the fuck of my team. And Dan, fuck the Cowgirls. You never convinced me they're better. I didn't say they're better. I said Dak Prescott's having an MVP season. Okay? I love Silz's responses. This is classic. This is so much fun. Name another team that has played this schedule. Ooh, I thought you were the world champions. Fucking act like it, guy. That's what happens when you're the champs. You play the toughest schedule. You notice? Hey, remember what I said at the beginning of the year about the Niners? The 49ers are going to win a lot of games because they're not playing anybody. It's always a freaking excuse when it comes to anybody but Hurts. Dude, Jalen Hurts has not played well this year. He's played great in one game. Is that a lie? Marsh, is that a lie? He had one gigantic game, and the rest of them have been mediocre. Right? I mean, it's becoming obvious. You're a homer. It's okay. He played one game in 7. Pretty obvious. So you think he's shot Silz? Something's up. We're 7 weeks into the season now. How many times are you going to keep doing this? Going and making excuses for him. I thought the offensive line performed great. Dallas's offense is more balanced. With a superior passing game, the linebackers and safeties need to play straight up. Absolutely. Dak Prescott and George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, that thing's formidable. The Cowboys are getting better. The Cowboys are clearly getting better. Eagles O-line is not run blocking well. No excuses. I believe they will get it later in the season. Keep finding ways to win. Dak is balling, but postseason is his pumpkin. Everything that Big Pickin just said is absolutely true. He played B-ball. That's absolutely ridiculous, you fucking idiot. We got 5 wins for the season. We don't have a running game or a number 1 defense. Who else is winning these games? I think your defense won a ton of those games. Why does Huff look like a superstar in San Francisco? Well, look who his coach is. It's the same coach that had him in New York. Robert Saleh. Knows how to deal with him. Silz getting hit 3 feet behind the line of scrimmage does not equate to Barkley being shot. Okay. Well, let's wait 5 more weeks then. Then you can tell me what's up. So you're telling me Barkley needs everything to be perfect too to have what, a decent season? Is that what you're saying? So if everything's not perfect for Barkley, then he can't perform. Okay? Is that what you're saying, Keith? If Barkley doesn't have everything hitting, Becton and Cam and everyone else, then he can't perform. How do you explain the guy in Dallas who's on the shittiest O-line in football? What's he on pace for, by the way? So the guy who has the shittiest O-line in football, Javonte Williams, is on pace right now for 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. Explain that one to me. I know you went to Miami and played for the Cowboys, but any way I can get an interpreter for my supers, you fucking them up. How about any way I can get an interpreter to try to explain to you that your fucking quarterback has played 1 game in 7? How about that, kid? I remember you saying that Jalen won those first 4 games. I'm confused. Jalen did. And the defense. That doesn't mean he played exceptional football in them. the offense was 30th heading into that game. Where in the world did you think they were playing well? You had the second worst offense in the NFL going into that game. Silz, what about week 1 in the Rams game? He was inconsistent, but I don't think he played poorly. Fair enough. Samuel, okay. Never mind, Dallas explained. Dude, how about that stupid conversation we used to have about fucking Barkley being better than fucking Christian McCaffrey? McCaffrey right now is on pace for 952 yards rushing, 1,358 yards receiving, and 130 catches. Don't ever talk to me about McCaffrey not having a better career than fucking Saquon Barkley. That's a joke. That's a joke. Are you crazy? McCaffrey is a weapon. He is a weapon. I mean, Saquon Barkley's had 1 year where he did anything remotely close to anything that McCaffrey did in his career. Christian McCaffrey is going to have another year where he goes over 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving. What is Hurts on pace for this year? Good call. Let's take a look at that. See where Jalen's on pace for. Got to go down far on the leaderboard. Let's see here. Actually, Jalen's gone up to from 24th to 3,600 yards. This would be a great year for him. 3,600 passing yards. 27 TDs and 2 picks would be a fabulous year. That would be great. They're not stats, dickhead. They're trends. Get this. This is what people think stats are. So if somebody runs a particular play 14 times, you guys say that the offense for the Philadelphia Eagles under Kevin Patullo is predictable. Is that not a stat? Hey, Sue, is it not a stat that Kevin Patullo calls the go routes? That's called a trend in what they do. Whatever. Most non-football people would probably look at it as stats. It's okay. I'm here to help. He says, you hear what happened to Doug Martin? Yeah, I did. It's sad. Yeah. Doug, unfortunately, passed away at the age of 36 in police custody. So, Silz claims he watches tape. Not the way you do, dude. There is no way I see the game like you. Claim? My friend, there's no way you would ever decipher how I watch a game film. So you would have no idea what I look at. You're correct. Silz, it's not part of Philly culture. His word means shit. Then why are you here every fucking day? Explain that to me, Marquise. I can't wait until someone finds that. Please do and send it over. I'm waiting. Any day now. Looking forward to it. It's at Dan Sileo Show. Make sure you send it. The best NFC quarterbacks have been Mayfield, Dak, Stafford, and Hurts with the 30th ranked passing attack. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think so. So if the Eagles can come into this season believing they're going to be a run-heavy team, but it's not working out after 6 games. How many games until they change the identity into a passing team? That's a great question. I think they're starting that transition right now, actually. Christian McCaffrey doesn't even have an O-line other than one guy. No doubt. McCaffrey's running all over the place right now. He's got one guy, Trent Williams, and he's older. Big Silz, they can't get enough. Keep up the good work. Thank you, my friend. We know that. Here's old Marquise again. I'm here to keep my foot on your neck. Oh, really? Wow. Kudos to you there, dude. Really? After 35 years in broadcasting, I got fucking Marquise with his foot on my neck every day and telling me that my word means nothing, but he's here every day. Huh. Put that in your fucking hat and try to find me that clip. Hey, keep searching. Keep searching for that clip. His foot on my throat. Oh, woof. Jeez. Unbelievable. Says if you rewatch the game, you could see that the play calling is still a problem. Really? Aggressive Eagles offense is night and day. Like breaking a Ferrari. Attack, attack, attack. Hey, listen, man. You played the greatest game in Jalen Hurts' history, and you barely beat the Vikings because you're not a complete team right now. Your run game is nowhere. So we've blamed for 6 weeks the run offensive line. When do you start asking questions about Saquon Barkley? Okay? Unless the Eagles are stupid, they will transfer into a passing game. How are they going to transfer into a passing game when that's the first time they've had a passing attack in 2 years? It's his first fucking 300-yard game in over a year. Really? Saquon Barkley played like Chris Johnson. He also had 2K and then fell off. Almost all those 2K guys did. We need more screens to Barkley. How is this team a passing team when you were 30th? You think one? That's a good question. I wrote that down. So you think the Viking game has cured the passing problems of the team? Do you? Yes or no? Do you guys think that the Viking game cured the passing woes of the team? Yes or no? Do you think that the Vikings game has cured the passing game? Not really. Okay. Now, here you go. Samuel, I'm there on that. Arthur, okay. I'm there on that. Silz, we have to get better on first downs. Yes, sir. There you go. That's getting better. No, it's proven if they can get it together, that's what their passing game can be when it's firing. Okay? I'm all right with that. Okay? No, one game isn't a trend. Some very smart people in here. I like it. Absolutely. Jalen told Howie, we're not losing no more, to his face. Okay? Not reading this guy. Got to use Tank more at running back. He looked okay. Silz, you think a tough opening schedule was the reason for a bland? That's not a bad take. All the coordinators that they played? Okay. Took the greatest passing attack in Eagle history to beat a Vikings team by 6. Okay? I think it could be a jump start. This is good. This is good stuff here. Okay? Yeah, and you're 1-2. In the last 3 passing games, you're 2-2 or 1-2. Or if you want to go the last 4 games, okay, you're 2-2. You're 500. All right? It's a good trend. Short passing can work. Exactly. Jumpstart. Now build off of that. I thought they would build off of that what they did in the second half against the Rams. Okay. They will go back to the stale offense again. I just don't trust the analytical bullshit. Okay. By the way, Angelo Cataldi will be with us at 3:30. Gary Cobb at 4:30. And then Xander is our Mariano Rivera, our closer. And we will close up shop. We need the ball. We need to ball out the next 3 games. Yes. Giants, Green Bay, and Detroit. I like the stuff they did under center. I think that helped the passing game a lot. And it made them not look so predictable being under center. I said it in the postgame show. I think that there were a lot of cosmetic stuff. Okay? I think there was a lot of cosmetic stuff that they added to the offense. Barkley's starting to piss me off. Well, here, guys, he's either shot or you're going to continue to blame the O-line. I don't see anything with Barkley. Okay? Well, like I said, with these other guys, how are these other guys having great years? And how are these other guys having great years? And they're on less than suspect offensive lines. Here, look at this. Now, Jonathan Taylor's got a pretty good O-line. That Colts team's got a good O-line. Carolina is 3rd. By the way, that's not a shitty team anymore. And we said that Carolina would be one of our surprise teams. They're 3-3 on the year right now. That kid, Dowdley, he's 3rd in rushing. 5.6 a carry. And that offensive line in Carolina is terrible. I mean, J.K. Dobbins, that's a good O-line. NTN's having a better year. The kid Junkins from Cleveland is having a better year. Breece Hall is having a better year. What's Barkley's excuse? A bad O-line? Those guys are on shitty O-lines too. If anything, the passing attack that we just proved Jalen can do. No, he did not prove anything. Let's see it for a couple weeks in a row. Not to that level. I'm not expecting 158. Dude, you've been down in the 30s for over a year in passing. One game doesn't change the entire fucking makeup of your passing game. Where are you getting that from? Do you really believe one game, that Viking game, changed your passing game around? I like what a lot of people said in here. It's a great beginning. Look, Kevin Petula's play calling, I agree with you. I think he's still suspect. Coaching made us one-dimensional. Bro, it's the same attack you had a year ago. Barkley's the factor. Barkley not being able to get going is the reason why it's inconsistent right now. Listen, I'm going to give it to you one more time here. Being 5-2, there's a bunch of good teams in the NFL. There is no dominant football team right now in the National Football League, especially in the NFC. I can't tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl. Like tonight, I don't know. Now, the Bucs are getting Mbuka and Mike Evans back. I don't know if that's going to be enough. At home, Detroit, I'm leaning towards Detroit winning that ball game. Barkley relies on his jump cuts to get through the lanes. Teams are flooding those lanes. Barkley cannot power through in a straight run. Okay? So they're flooding the lanes. The passing game is going to have to take. Do you know why your passing game is not? You know why your running game is not good? Because teams don't respect your passing game. That was a blimp on the screen last night. Now, for the next game, teams are going to have to go and respect the passing game more. Maybe that opens it up against the Giants. Look, I'm expecting you to blow the Giants out of the building on Sunday. There is no way. I think that Giant team just had a horrific loss to the Denver Broncos. Now, again, they have one thing that Minnesota didn't have. They've got a great front four. Let's see here. We're going to need a pass. We're going to need to pass the ball like this another 2 games. Not like this. Dude, you're not going to repeat that. However, you're going to have to be consistent in throwing the football. Yes. Okay? Let's see. Carter Dean Bond wrecked the game. Watch. You mean the upcoming one? Silz, he's getting tackled 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. What's he supposed to do? Well, then explain to me how these other guys with poor O-lines and better quarterbacks are getting yards and they're at the top of the list in rushing. The kid who's number 2 is Dak. Dak's on pace for 5,000 passing yards. I've never heard of that kid, Williams. How in the world is that guy with the worst offensive line in football? We might repeat that against the Giants this Sunday coming up. Let's see it. Be wonderful. Guy throws for 300 yards again, you're on your way. Hurts needs to start running more to help the run game. I don't think he had any yards in that football game on Sunday. Hey, listen, I'm going to say it one more time to you so that make sure we underline it. He was exceptional on Sunday. AJ, Devontae, the pass protection was exceptional. And by the way, let's add this to the mix. Saquon Barkley was terrible in pass protection. So he's not getting any yards, and he's terrible in pass protection. I don't know. Of all the players on your offense, he's having a horrific year. Barkley's vision seems off. Need to seeing him in space. Need to scheme him in space. Yes. So I can understand where you're coming from on Hurts. What's more important, winning or throwing the ball around to your satisfaction? Not to my satisfaction, to the coach's satisfaction. On a consistent basis? Yeah. Having balance? Yeah. Silz says the dumbest, like what? All these guys you named have much better run. So wait a minute. You want to hear what this fucking idiot just said? This fucking idiot right here, Donald, just said that Javonte Williams of the Dallas Cowboys has much better blocking than we do. So he's telling you, how many people in here agree with this dipshit, Donald, that the Dallas Cowboys have a better O-line than the Philadelphia Eagles? How many people believe this? Marquis says that so you're telling me the Cowboys have Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson on their team? Where? Where? So, Sue, are you fucking telling me, Sue, that you think the Cowboys have Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata on their team? Jordan Mailata and Lane had good games. You're making that up. You're fucking making that up. Get this, Kyle. People in here are now trying to tell you that the Cowboys have a better O-line. You completely done. What fucking question? Oh, that stupid question here. Let me go here. Bro, balance is what they want. Your boy will never have a balanced passing attack in his NFL career. No more to debate, is there? You and I will disagree. Our O-line isn't 24. Stop comparing to the Super Bowl team. You're still on the parade float, Silz. No. I'm asking you right now if you think that the Dallas Cowboys O-line is better than the Eagles, even with Toth in there, you're making you know what? Here's another example of Eagle fans with green-colored glasses on. You're out of your fucking tree. The Dallas Cowboys haven't had anybody like Jordan Mailata or Lane Johnson since Nate Newton and Larry Allen. And that was in the 90s. Okay, who's Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson on the Cowboy team? Now, Mailata sucks. Silz, I'm not struggling to eat shit. Guy, what crow? Put a couple games together before you start talking to me about elite passing. My God almighty. Silz, my grandmother could be at the left guard position and we're still better. I know. They just don't want to admit it. Either Barkley's washed, too many carries a year ago. Well, he looks great to me. I could name you 10 guys who are having better seasons than him on shittier O-lines with good passers. Hurts can carry the offense through the air. Coaching just has to trust him until he shows otherwise. Then why haven't they done it? Young, ask yourself this. Why haven't they done it? Any reasoning? By the way, they even said they went into the game wanting to run the ball. Like, okay, I see this stat. Where is that? No other running back is getting hit behind the line 37% of the time. So you're trying to tell me that you're blaming an O-line that was number one in the NFL a year ago, and you're telling me that the Dallas Cowboys have a better offensive line. Can't be fucking dumber. You're not the O-line of a year ago, but you can't be any fucking dumber. How many people believe that the Cowboys have a better O-line than the Eagles? With Landon Dickerson, Mailata, I don't know what Cam's status is, so we'll put Toth, Steen, and with Lane Johnson. So the Cowboys, who had rated the worst O-line in football, I think it was 28th. So you're telling me you've gone from first to 31st? Dak has all day to throw because Dak's a better passer. Cowboys' run offensive line blocking this year is better than what the Eagles have shown. So then you're telling me that the Cowboys have a better O-line. Let me see what the as a matter of fact, let me take a look at that. PFF offensive line rankings. PFF offensive line rankings. 25. Let's see. Heading into week number 7. Colts 1. Broncos 2. Eagles are 5. Funny, I don't see Cowboys in here. What happened? I don't see the Colts, Falcons, Broncos, Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, Lions, Panthers, Rams, Vikings, Bears, Patriots, 14th to the Cowboys. It's either the O-line or your fucking Barkley shot. Pick one. That's the point. Try to stay on pace. There you go. With a short offseason, the lack of preparation, it's no wonder we're not playing up to snuff. It's not that you're not playing up to snuff. You're right there with everybody else. Silz just sees the names on the back of the jerseys instead of watching them play. Twiz, I don't see anything you see football-wise. Nothing. You're the one that sees records and shit. I see quarters of play. So, Twiz, anything you talk to me about football will be very foreign to you. And anything you talk to me about football, I won't understand either. Because it's not what I was around. So every team you mentioned has experienced OCs or head coaches, which is why this team is struggling offensively. Okay. Twiz who? I can't listen to this. Okay. See you later. Penalties. Okay. I say it every week. He doesn't even watch games. Eagles just got to go into play calling bag and run game. Inside zone is not working. I think they got to run off tackle more, actually, and use those tackles more. And I think they have to attack the edges. Because if you're not getting the push in the middle with Steen, and I was told Steen's been playing great all year. I don't see it. Okay? Pro Football Network has the Bills at 5, the Eagles at 25, and the Cowboys at 1. Pro Football Network? Who the fuck is that? Good thing Wentz threw the game away. Dude, Carson Wentz was terrible. And they still almost won. Carson Wentz was terrible and threw for 300 yards. What you did last year doesn't guarantee success in the future, correct? You got to prove it every year, and this year our O-line is not blocking good. Okay, so you're going to blame the O-line and not Barkley. Okay, no problem. You still got the Redskins taking the division? Yeah, I haven't changed. It's October 20th. Dude, you're like at the start of the race. Hang in there. Silz, how would you improve the Eagle run game? You think the injuries on the O-line is why they're not pulling the guards? I completely do. And plus the center issue has been a problem all year. So, David, what I would do is I'd run more zone runs at the edges and use Lane and Mulata more. And those two guys are your linchpins on your run game. I'd stop with those middle zones, attacking the A and B gap, because it's not happening with that's it, Abe. I'd run more stretch plays. Some tosses. Get some tosses to Barkley. They can run a toss play. Get him out in space. Utilize your tackles more. The rest are probably taking 100 yards from Barkley and holding penalties. I think you're pretty objective. Thank you very much. What would it take for you to say Jalen Hurts can do it with his arm consistently? I think you just answered it. Young, I think you just answered your question. Young, I think you just answered. Young, would this be fair to say, and I appreciate the super, thank you. Didn't you just answer it? I think you're pretty objective. What would it take for you to say Hurts can do it with his arm consistently? And how long would you have to do it? How long would he have to do it? Well, Young, I think you answered it. Do it consistently. And again, like I said, not to the 158. That's not obtainable. That's not a reality. That's not what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be 350 yards passing. It doesn't have to be any of that. Dallas Run Pro has been better because they're trying to defend the pass. Eagles are too predictable. Barkley O-line collectively hurting from last year. Fair enough. Okay. Every Silz stream turns into a defensive shouting match. Nobody's shouting here, guy. Unless you're depth or something, unless you got a megaphone up against your ear, nobody's hollering at anybody here. Maybe that's how you're hearing it. Silz, Barkley passes the eye test. He does for me too. And the O-line aren't tomato cans, but something has to be off. They're flooding the zones. I don't think the O-line isn't as athletic as before with the injuries to the interior. The injuries in the interior are clearly a factor. By the way, Steen doesn't get the push that Becton did. All right? And so are the Giants, and they beat you. Eagles are still seeing a ton of 8-man boxes. Teams are going to try to stop Barkley no matter what. And to your point, Greg, on the passing game, this is why you have to see the passing game consistently. A great fourth quarters of football by Hurts in the passing game. There's nobody can criticize that game in the passing game. But what makes it crazy is even the players came out and said, we wanted to run the ball. And they had to shift to throwing it because we couldn't run the ball. The players even said it. I don't think there's any crow to be eaten. You haven't done it consistently, dude. There's no crow to be eaten. One game doesn't make a consistent passing game. Come on, man. Passing game has sucked all year. Says we should run off tackle like we did with Miles Sanders. I agree. I think those stretch plays would be something to think about because if you're not getting the internal push, I think your tackles are the key to that O-line because the interior of the O-line is just not performing well. If they rest Cam and Landon in this Giants game, what will the Eagles have to do to win the game? Run those stretch plays. You know, if you put lesser people, it's a great question, David, because here's the dilemma. Are you going to rest Landon and Cam for the Giant game? It's a divisional game, and they're going to have a pass rush 10 times better than Minnesota. Brian Burns tortured Mulata. Dexter Lawrence tortured Cam Jurgens. Kayvon Thibodeau got home. So, resting those guys with lesser players, you're taking the risk of getting your quarterback hit. So you're kind of caught in the middle. Do I rest them and risk New York putting a beating on the offense? Because they put one on you 2 weeks ago. What's our best path to repeat and win it all, Silz? Got to get that run game going, dog. And I think you got to get a little bit better in your D-line of getting pressure. I think you got to get a little bit more pressure. I don't believe that the New York Giants will be in this game at all, and I'm saying this on Monday. I think they killed them. Yeah, I agree with that, Silz. Giants really choked that game away. 19-point lead. And I don't know about you, but Bo Nix, that ain't John Elway. This could be a little true. Says I believe the Eagles beaten up after the Denver game. That was a physical football game. Makes sense why the Eagles played so poorly versus the Giants and that front four. Look at the Giants defense now post Denver. They're banged up. That was a very physical game. Run them stretch plays. That's right. Take advantage of your tackle play. Your tackles. Dude, if you can't run the ball with Jordan Mailata and Lane, you got major problems. Okay, you got major problems. Brian Burns may be out next week, foot injury. Whew, that would be enormous. Devontae Smith is number 7 in the league in receiving. I know he had a huge game, but wow. Yeah, no, honestly. Well, here, you got A.J. Brown on the other side. How would that guy be? Well, now, if you're with Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or somebody like that, yeah, he's going to get great numbers. But one more time, too, Devontae's not consistent because the passing game's not consistent. Let's take a look at Devontae. Let's see how consistent Devontae's been. Let's go to receiving. Let's go to his game chart and see what he's done. And let's see if you tell me you think these guys have been consistent. So let's go to Devontae here. Here's Devontae Smith. Okay. Last 5 games. 435 yards he's got. 183 of them came in one game. Are you telling me that's consistent passing? He's got 435 receiving yards in the last 5 games. One of those games, he had 183. I don't know what you're talking about. The Eagles the edges are horrible. Only play they made was in coverage by Jalix Hunt. Thanks. Nice try, kid. Nice try, kid. Chiefs versus Eagles or Lions is looking more and more likely by the day. Not really. If Hurts beats the Vikings, it's congratulations. You did your job. You beat a shitty team. Allen beats the Browns. He's elite. Correct. Because Josh Allen has to carry the football team completely on his back with nobody on it. Correct. Because Jalen Hurts can be carried by his team. Allen cannot be carried by his team. Correct. You're welcome. Jalen needed a game like that. He did. He got to show he can go deep. Again, it's consistency. One game doesn't create a passing attack. Yeah. And almost 200 of it came in one game. What are you talking about? 183 came in one game. To say Smith isn't consistent just shows how, okay, well, let's go here then. Let's see how consistent he is. Clueless? Okay. Devontae Smith. So, there we go. 183, 49, 114, 29, 60, 50, and 16. That shows how fucking pathetic you are. Smith is as consistent as it gets. I just read the numbers. Not true. Smith is dependent upon the quarterback to get him the ball. Now we're going. Finally said something correct. Congratulations. You beat a banged-up Chiefs team. You did your job. Once again, you're comparing your quarterback to those elite guys. He's not. Cowboys versus Chiefs on Thanksgiving going to be a good one. I'm starting to think that. By the way, your Cowboys are getting better. Bro, you're the pathetic run, read the whole comment, whatever, guy. Fuck off. I'll take Chiefs versus Eagles or Lions and give you every other combination, Silz. Loser has to donate the other's charity $500. I'll take Chiefs and Eagles or Lions. Okay, I'll take that. Not going nowhere near the Super Bowl. We all knew Silz would show up today and find something negative. I have not said anything negative. Your guy had a great game last night or yesterday. What was negative? What did I say was negative? That's not true. Name me one. It's like Jalen thrives off of doubt. Just say he can't do something, and he's like, hold my beer and watch this. Once the point is proved, then he goes back to default settings. We should doubt him from that. We should not doubt him from now on. That's why your offense was 30th. No, you're right. Fishing Maniac. Love you, meathead. I got you, bro. We're good. He can't play consistent. Prove me wrong. He can't play consistently. Prove me wrong. You're right. He can't. What's really elite? Outplaying Mahomes. Oh, my God. Now you're starting to compare Jalen Hurts to Patrick Mahomes, which is as asinine as it gets. I'm not finishing reading things like that. It's an excuse for the Chiefs because they were banged up. I thought injuries were no excuse. I'm not giving them any excuse. They got Patrick Mahomes. I should never doubt him. You don't doubt 15. When was the last time Jalen was carried? Last year to the Super Bowl. He doesn't like the facts. What facts have I said that's not true? I'm not sure what you're talking about. What facts? The worst passing attack in football, the second worst passing attack in pro football heading into the game yesterday? What facts? Those were the facts. So you think Howie will make a move for corner instead of edge because he knows Nolan is returning? Nolan returning? That's a big thing. Was Hurts carried to 4 straight playoff appearances too? Yeah, especially that Rams game when he threw for 50 yards. Excuse? No, reality. You're a bum. Jalen's top 3. I know. Top 3 what? Wildcat quarterbacks? Yeah. Still said Smith is inconsistent because the passing game is inconsistent. It was a shot at Hurts, not Smith. Please get Sil's shots correct before you comment. This guy right here is smart. He gets it. Very nicely done, my man. Look at that. Kind of weeding through it. Very nicely done, Eric. Kudos to you, my friend. This is so much fun today because I knew the meatheads would be out in force. Oh, my God. I knew it. This is so much. I can't believe the fun I'm having. By the way, Angelo Cataldi will be with us at 3:30. Hey, Xander, please send the link to Angelo. Thank you. And Gary Cobb will join us at 4:30. Silz, do you get headaches from battling the Jalenites? No. I actually get agita. Okay, it's not headaches. It's agita. Jalen is carrying the Eagles this year. Take him off, and they're 0-7. Silz, in 24, you did say the Eagle edges were average. That's why I think people... No. What I say... That's right, David. That's great. You're right. They were average in pass rush because they didn't have a 10-sack guy. But what they brought was versatility and being able to stay on the field without substitutions. They were not exceptional pass rushers. Sweat had 8.5 sacks. And the other guy on the other side, when Smith came in, they didn't have an elite edge rushers. That's right. They beat teams with guys who were really good with Milton and Josh. That's exactly correct. By the way, I'm still waiting for that link where I said that Sweat was average as a player. It's at Dan Sileo show when you send it, too. Loser asks Hurricanes, can the real Carson Beck stand up? It's okay. We're still in the playoff hunt. How you doing? Pull up Jalen's stats for this year, Silz, and his passer rating. Let's see here. Let's go down the list here where Jalen Hurts is in attempts with those passer ratings. The 30th ranked passing attack. So Jalen's got a really good passer rating, and his passing offense is in the dog shit toilet. Okay, gotcha. Big Silz, how would you defend Dart? Keep him contained. Make him win throwing the ball. I don't believe he can do it. I don't. You still here? You still here? Y'all overrated. I'm right. Josh Allen had Cook a second rounder. Who? You got Barkley. Palmer a second rounder. Who? Kincaid. Are you trying to tell me Kincaid is Goddard? Who? Knox a second rounder. Who? Elijah Moore. Who? Shakir. Who? Compared to Devontae and AJ? Who? They paid Cook like Barkley. He ain't making $20 million. What happened to freedom of speech, Silz? Everyone's got the idea. You're in here. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Everyone has an opinion. Go. I may not get to you. So when the Eagles win, I look forward to your show. But when they lose, like they did versus the Giants, I dread hearing you light up the team. QB coaches, etc. Grifter Silz, without the Eagles, you're nothing. I know. For 35 years, I've waited for this. You know, I've needed the Eagles for 35 years in broadcasting. Without the Eagles, I'm nothing. Yeah, I know. Okay. Silz is a big dumb dipshit. He can't keep his takes straight. Oh, I know exactly. You keep them simple and you keep them a few, and you'll never have to worry about it. And by the way, when players get better, players get worse. Silz, you're a JAKIB Sports Troll knee dragger. Why are you here then? I commend you for responding to so many posts, whether I disagree with you or not. It's much appreciated. Thank you very much, Brandon. And I always try to get the people who make common sense. There's people in here I'm not responding to because they're just dumb and they work for Bob Lang and the Eagles, and it's just not going to happen. And by the way, I have been glazing Hurts today for his performance. He was fucking great. He was spectacular yesterday. I'm not sure what else you want me to say. It was one of the greatest performances in his career, if not the best. It's a question. Is he shot? It's one or the other. Either the O-line shot or Barkley shot. Pick one. Or both. Pick one. He's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. Okay, so your O-line sucks now. All that money you spend. All that equity. What happened to Jeff Stoutland, the great Jeff Stoutland? So the O-line shot. Jeff Stoutland now has done a poor job this year. Well, injuries. Well, what's up with Malata and Lane? Okay, we'll see. It's now 7 weeks. Got a feeling we're going to beat Detroit. That'll be a great football game. Golf has to come to the link in cold weather. He is a dome team. $1,300-yard game every 2 years is all the fan base needs to be satisfied. Right now, you don't even have a Miles Sanders running game. The irony is we're going to see how far Jalen can carry us because the run game is shot. This right here is a take of the day. If Jalen's elite, he'll carry you home. Let's see. Is that fair? Make you a deal. Make you a deal. Jalen carrying you the rest of the way home with no run game. Okay. Here's his chance. Barkley drove you to the game last year. Wasn't Hurts. Barkley drove you to the game. So, here's Jalen's chance to drive the team to the game. Maybe you can have a reverse of what happened last year, where Barkley goes and he does in the Super Bowl what Jalen did. Let me tell you something. If you think that one freaking game is changing your passing attack around, you're high. Every single metric in that game with the Vikings, I have no idea how the Vikings were in that ball game, except for the third down efficiencies and inefficiencies, I should say. So, play calling's still an issue. Your defense gave up a shitload. And by the way, this is Jalen Hurts' next venture into his career. Because if he could be consistent, he'll show everybody that he could be consistent, because they're going to win football games now moving forward in the pass game. The run game. I'm going to ask Angelo Cataldi here in a second. Either the offensive line is shot or Barkley shot. You need to pick one. It's 7 weeks. It's 28 quarters of football. You got a guy in Dallas I've never heard of. Javonte Williams? Who's that? You're trying to tell me the Cowboys have a better O-line than the Philadelphia Eagles? That guy's on pace for 1,600 yards and Dak's throwing the ball around like he's Roger Staubach. Bad reference. Tony Romeo. All right. I couldn't wait for this. By the way, I can't wait to tell Angelo what Howard Eskin said last week. The best quarterback on the team is Tanner McKee. I can't wait for Angie for this. But before we do this, next couple of days, Ray Didinger's coming on. Ray, I know you're watching. I want to thank you very much for the new encyclopedia you're sending me. He said that one of the most popular shows in all of Philadelphia, I want to get you one of these encyclopedias. So I'm waiting for it to come, and as soon as it comes, we're going to talk about it on the air. And so I'm so privileged to be able to talk to some of Philly's greatest sports people, Ray Didinger, Howard Eskin, and of course my friend Angelo Cataldi, who I couldn't wait to get him on. Now, look, you see, you got to understand, Angelo's an old man now. He can't do more than 1 week. Okay, we have to go every other week, okay? So without further ado, my friend, the legend himself, Angelo Cataldi, joins us right now.
Dan, let me just start. Do not put neither Howard nor me in the same sentence with Mr. Didinger. I was with him once a month. I get to have lunch with him and Governor Ed Rendell and a whole bunch of other really cool people. And Ray Didinger's out of level. He's somewhere. Getting Ray on. Listen closely to what Ray said, Dan, fans, because that's the real thing. All right? A lot of this other stuff is just BS. Like the next half hour will be about mostly BS. Just so you know what's going on. But Ray, man, he's the real thing. God bless that guy. He's fantastic.
Absolutely. You guys, it used to be a great station when you guys had people all different personalities on that station. Now all I hear is white noise, and I'm hearing, like, for some reason I hear Bob Lang every hour. I don't know. So anyway, Angelo, I mean, you tell me, man, give me your initial takeaway of what you saw yesterday and what that Vikings win means to you.
Well, first of all, I'd like to extend my gratitude to Carson Wentz. He was a choker when they got him. And I'm happy to say that 6 teams later, he continues to find a way to blow games. The pick 6 was just, God,
It's terrible.
that was just so. That's what he does. You understand that? That has been. People still argue in Philadelphia about whether they would have won the championship in 2017 if he stayed healthy and they didn't ever get to Foles. No, they would not have won squat. I can guarantee you that. The guy is a loser. All right. So first of all, let's take that. But Wentz helped them a lot. There won't be a week to bail out the Eagles. That's the first thing. The second thing is, what did this really tell us? Well, one thing it told me is this play calling thing is going to be an issue all year. Major issue. It was again. Yeah, they had opportunity to game plan against one of the worst rush defenses in football. This was the game where you finally get past all this underachievement by Saquon Barkley in the first 6 games. What did they do? I realize there's problems at the offensive line. There's also ways to get around that. There's also ways to pitch it out, ways to get more creative, use motion back, give opportunity through your creativity to open up opportunities. And they didn't do any of it. There was none of that. There's been no creativity whatsoever in the play calling for 7 games now. None whatsoever. And yesterday, Saquon Barkley, I still think the best runner in the NFL, averaged 2.4 yards per carry against a run defense that was given up twice that. I mean, that's just awful. And then you've got this offensive line, and this is where Howie Roseman comes in. If you got Brett Toth playing any sort of a role on your offensive line, you have not planned correctly because he absolutely stinks. He is versatile in that he stinks both at the guard position and at the center position. He's awful at both. So if you got him in the middle of the thing, because Juergens, like Dickinson, can't stay on the field. He's got a friggin' problem. Oh, he's got a problem. You're going to have issues. So they got 2 big things on offense. They can't call plays, and the offensive line is nowhere near what it's been the last few years. None of that changed yesterday. What changed yesterday was Jalen Hurts pitched the perfect game, a 158 passer rating, and look at the plays. Dan, look at the plays. First touchdown pass to Brown. That wasn't called. Literally, when rolling out, Hurts motions for Brown to go deep and hit. It wasn't a play call, right? We're being told Devontae Smith went into halftime and told them what to call. Because he knew they wouldn't know it themselves. And that's how they hit a couple of big plays to Devontae Smith. And the one that clinched the game, the third down throw to Brown. That looked
third
like
and 13. Third and 13 play was the play of the game.
That was not the play call. Play calling is bad. I mean, it's still bad. And when you're playing good teams, you're going to get exposed. That's what I saw. But thank you, Wentz. Without Wentz, they probably would have lost the game.
Oh, absolutely. If Sam Darnold's on the field, they beat them. So let me go here with you. Do you think that Kevin Patullo's done more harm this year to Saquon Barkley or Jalen Hurts?
Barkley, because Hurts has found in 5 of the 7 games ways to circumnavigate around the bad play call. Barkley is helpless. What's he supposed to do? What can he do? They're even using him as a receiver. They've taken the best weapon in the league and found a way to not use him. I mean, that's just incredible malpractice. And it frustrates me to see this because 1 year ago, with a good coordinator, Barkley got 2,000 yards. He's not going to get 1,000 this year. I mean, do you think Barkley has retracted that far? Has he gotten so worse in 1 year he's no longer a great runner? No. He has no opportunity to run. They're not finding ways to use this incredible weapon. And it's just that Kellen Moore's not there, and and Patullo is, and Kevin Patullo doesn't know what he's doing. He does not know what he's doing, and Sirianni will not be able to bail him out. So great win, 5-2, probably 6-2 after what happened with the Giants in the fourth quarter. 33 points they gave up. I think the Eagles will find a way to win that game. They'll go to the bye 6-2, and everybody will go, hey, I didn't think they'd do any better than that. But the eye test, are they passing the eye test? No. They're not passing my eye test.
No, and let me slide you over on the defensive side now. I say this to you. I think Howie Roseman has had an absolutely awful offseason because now it is starting to show. I mean, the edge rushings are terrible. The corner play, I mean, like you said, that wasn't really on display in this game because Carson Wentz was doing everything possible. I never seen a team in my entire life that did everything to sabotage themselves to not win a ball game. It was unbelievable in how they played. But do you agree, Howie? I mean, for all the things that he did, Angelo, I said this, I think Howie mortgaged 2025 because of 2026 and 27. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. And you're right on point with Howie and Brandon Graham. It's inevitable. Brandon Graham's going to come to retirement. That's an indictment of Howie Roseman. An indictment. Graham's played 16 seasons. Graham's old. He's 37 years old. He should not be coming out of retirement after a Super Bowl victory because they have no one who can rush the passer, that they have so weak at that position. How are you a GM with a Super Bowl roster and then you're caught with bad players on both of your lines now? You got bad players. Toth is not good. Steen is not good. Offensive line. Those guys are not getting it done whatsoever. And then
Ringo's not good.
No, there's a lot of guys that are not giving you any. And the defensive line, I mean, where are they? Who are they? Yeah, I know you got the 2 big guys in the middle, and that's cool. That's fine. But those guys get neutralized somewhat because they can put more focus on them because your end guys aren't doing a damn thing. The end guys aren't getting it done. And to me, Howie left that cupboard bare. In order to lower the cap, he didn't want to mortgage the future. I don't even have a clue what his old thinking was. He said it. He said after they won, I'm going to do this differently, not holding on to people just out of sentiment. Well, I don't know about sentiment. Josh Sweat's got 5 sacks in Arizona. You got nobody with more than 3. You got 9 total. Maybe you should have kept him. Maybe you should have found a way to keep enough of that intact so you could still have the essence of what they did to win a championship. And on either side of the ball, do they show that to me? I don't see it.
How about this, too? I mean, even to your point, look at Bryce Huff and what he's doing right now in sacks. He had 2.5 sacks yesterday against Atlanta. I mean, he's even showing up because they couldn't do anything with him when it came to, like, I mean, he's just having a great year so far there with Robert Saleh. My question comes back down to this too with the football team and moving forward. Do you right now, with 28 quarters of play, give me your sense of do you believe that this is a Super Bowl contending team?
No, and they're not. They'll win the division probably because Washington is done less than I thought. I know they're hurt. I know they're out. Most of the wide receivers are not there, but they're not showing me what I thought I would see. I haven't seen the next step forward. Now Daniels is injured. The Eagles will win that division. They'll get a favorable playoff position. They may win a round, but they're going to get beat by a good coach, the way Denver beat them. They're going to get beat by anybody that can rush the passer because their offensive line is weaker and they don't know how to call plays. And they're going to get beat because the opposition quarterback's going to have lots of time to throw the football. Even Wentz had a lot of time most of the time. He got caught a few times, but most of the time he had time to stay back there and look for people. And those are not the ingredients of a champion. You're always building from the line, and neither of the lines are nearly as good as they were a year ago. Neither of them.
Yeah, and I think Jeff Stoutland has a lot, I mean, everyone was saying, I mean, there's no doubt that Steen, Cam Jurgens, who went out, like you said, Brett Toth goes in there. He was brutal. I guess, when it came to the run game here. So do you agree? Do you think it's the O-line or do you think it's Barkley? I mean,
it's the line. It's one of the other. It's not Barkley at all. It's not 1% Barkley. If I had a minute with Jeff Stoutland, who is widely regarded as the best offensive line coach in the NFL, I would sit him down and go, all right, Jeff, tell me, Brett Toth, does he have photos of you with a goat? Does he have some compromise? Why would he be on your freaking team? And if so, who are the guys behind him? Are they like literally revolving doors? Because this guy can't block. He's terrible. Does anyone watch the line play at all? He can't block. It's Ole. It's like a bullfight. Ole, come through. And it's like, Stoutland, I know Stoutland thinks he's good enough to keep him on the team. Stoutland tells them who he wants as his lineman. How did he end up with that stiff? I would love to know that because I watched this and I go, well, that guy can't play. And I don't know half of what these guys are supposed to know. You know more than I do, Dan. Is Brett Toth an NFL lineman?
No, they can't run block to save their life right now.
Can't do it at all. He can't even pass block. Basically, they've got Hurts is like, here, do something. Get something now. We're almost back to Randall Cunningham. Like, run around until somebody gets open and throw him the ball. Let's do that.
Boy, I'll tell you, Angelo, there is no doubt that the football team doesn't have the same talent as they did a year ago on there. But so Howard Eskin was on the program last week, and he said that the best quarterback on the football team is Tanner McKee. He said for what they want to do by throwing the football, the best quarterback in the pocket would be the backup quarterback because Hurts does not show consistency in the passing game. What's your take on that?
My take on that is that he must have just sniffed some glue. He must have been in maybe he called you from an opium den. Is that possible? Give me a break, will you please? This is the problem with, and how it's old school, all right? But this is the problem today with 90% of the media, including Howard. What dumbass thing can I say to show them I'm smarter than everybody else? So Howard's going, I don't know if you know this, I attend practice. So I get to see Tanner McKee. Oh, my God, he's amazing, right? And you're going, I think that's quite the same thing. Jalen Hurts, it is so disrespectful to take a guy like Hurts. The guy had 158 passer rating on Sunday. In what world is Tanner McKee going to put up a 158? Okay, tell me that. How many times is McKee going to scramble away from pressure, motion downfield, literally call the play on the run, and throw it and hit the guy in stride for a touchdown? Well, yeah, he's going to do that. Give me a break. But you'd see this on the Dan Orlovsky, Chris Sims. All these jackasses are out to go, look at me. I have a take you never heard of. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Let me explain why. And then if you're really stupid, by the end, you agree with them. But that's not my game. I just try to give my honest opinion all the years I did it. Nowadays, everybody's got to hot take the other guy, and it's all crap. All right? It's crap. Okay. Tanner McKee looks good. He may be an NFL quarterback.
He may be. Right. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts top 5. You're a long way from top 5. All right. So stop with this Tanner McKee crap. It's baloney.
Okay. So on your blog, AngeloCataldi.com, once a choker, always a choker. What is the legacy of Carson Wentz in Philadelphia?
Now you're on the topic I'm most intrigued by because, I go back 5 years when Hurts came in and right away Wentz freaked out. And we were all, and on Doug Peterson, and I went, Doug, why don't you switch? Wentz is struggling mightily. Why don't you put a kid in for a game or two? He's from Alabama, Oklahoma. He played a lot of big games, maybe. And Doug said, I can't do it. I can't do that. See, and Doug, being honest, he went, the minute I make that move, the season's over. Because that kid's not ready. Hurts is not ready. And Wentz, I lose Wentz. If Wentz doesn't want to compete with Hurts. Wentz never wanted to compete with her. So here's what happened. Now I know. I was speculating this as it was happening. But now I know it's true. I watched yesterday's game. I know it's true. So they went out there for the first training camp. And Wentz is there. He's still owed $154 million. They got 6 years to pay him. Yeah. All right. He's 27 years old. He's still just starting his prime. He goes out in the field and they run through a few drills and he goes, oh no, I think that guy's better than me. He's got more field awareness. He's smarter because his father was a coach. He grew up this sport. He's clearly got a great arm. He's got better feet than I do. I'm going to lose my job at some point here in the not too distant future if I stay in this thing. So he basically pouts through the first half of the year and he gets himself traded at the end of the year.
You think he self-sabotaged? You think he self-sabotaged himself in Philly?
No, I don't think he actively tried to fail, but he was defeated mentally because he's a loser. He's a choker. He will not win the big game for you. He always assumes there's another guy out there better than him. So I came up to Dakota, North Dakota State. He wasn't with the Alabama. He always has this insecurity about him, which frankly, now that I've seen him perform for a long time, I understand. He doesn't have the ingredients to be a winner. So what we learned today, we could look back. We go, you know what? He knew right away, I'm not going to be able to keep my job against this guy. He's going to win the job. Not the first day. He's a rookie. But he's going to win the job within a year or two, and then I'm going to be out on the sideline still collecting $154 million, but not being – so he kind of talked his way off the team. Didn't want to compete. That's why it's so ironic that yesterday after the game, Kevin O'Connor, the Minnesota coach, went, well, he competed. And they went, well, that's something new for Wentz since he didn't want to compete when he was here. And it doesn't look for me like he ever really competes in big moments when he could. Like yesterday for him, for Wentz yesterday, Dan, that had to be a big game for him. Yeah. Because he could prove, you guys, it's not as cut and dried. You guys, you won a championship without me, but look at me. I can play too. And what you instead found that is he's the same Wentz. In a big game, fumble to the goal line, he'll throw you the ball, pick six, he'll find a way to lose the game. And that's what I learned. What I learned is he saw right away. He's not a dummy. Saw right away. This guy's better than me. That's a fact. Jalen Hurts is a lot better. Now, I got to be honest, though. Neither of them are anywhere close to Tanner McKee. Oh, my God, what a player that kid. Oh, my God. You haven't seen him. I've been at practice. Oh, my God, Dan. Oh, what a player. He's the next Joe Montana. Get that out. Put that on the social media. Hurry up.
Hey, Angelo, tell me why the Eagles struggle at getting Jalen Hurts a proper offensive coordinator.
Wow, that's the question. He has a different one every year. Wow.
Yeah, but even when they're different, they're not for him. They're for Nick.
That's true. That's true. Because I guess it's a byproduct of success. If you are really successful, they've been at 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Chances are at the end of the successful year, your coordinators are going to be up for main jobs. That's how they lost Steichen, who is really good. And now you're seeing it with the Colts. You're seeing now how Steichen was really good and how Gannon was nothing. All right. You're seeing now the differentiation between a really, really good coach and a guy who everybody thought was good, but actually wasn't very good. All right. Steichen. So they lose Steichen. Then they bring in an absolute amateur in Johnson, and he bollocks the whole year up. So now you got to come back and do something that the team tank. Let's bring in Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore really knows what he's doing. They have an amazing season. Barkley's off the charts. Everything's going great. Oh, now New Orleans wants to hire Kellen Moore. Let's try the Bobo approach again. Let's bring in another one of Sirianni's buddies. A guy who's never called plays. Let's get him in here to drive the Rolls Royce. And now Patullo really will not make it through the whole season. At some point, it'll probably be very subtle. It'll be subtle. Suddenly, either Sirianni will start doing it, or some other guy on the staff, quarterback coach, somebody else will start calling the play because they know this guy can't do it. All right, you get. Damn, that was an awful run defense. The Loeffler guy. You can't figure out how to get some yards for Barkley against that run defense, then you should not be a coach of the NFL. It's that simple. And Kevin Patullo shouldn't be. So, yeah, it's going to be a bumpy ride here today, Dan. They're not going to get past, they're not going to make it to the NFC Championship game this year. They're going to lose within the first 2 rounds, and then hopefully we'll start the transition to Tanner McKee because that's when things will really get great. Make sure that hot take gets out. Tanner McKee is actually better than Jalen Hurts. Did you guys know that? You didn't know that.
Hey, no, Howard knows what he's doing because it got over 500,000 views, man. I mean,
yeah. Do me a favor. Just ask Dedinger that when he comes on, because Ray has a lively sense of humor, and that'll make his day. Say Howard Estes out. He said that McKee's better. What do you think, Ray? You ready to say that now that McKee hasn't played a single game in the NFL?
Oh my God. Okay, so the Kevin Patullo thing. I mean, you think he'll be replaced then?
Yes,
sometime in this season he'll be replaced.
Probably. I have to say when. Unless they have a really good game against the Giants, which is possible given that the Giants defense just gave up 30
Green Bay and Detroit are on the other side of the Giants game.
Right. And it's a bye week. So they have 2 weeks to integrate somebody else into the process. I don't think they're announcing anything, Dan, but I mean, you don't have to know that much to see it.
Well, no. How about this, Angelo? Angelo, the indictment is when Devontae, after the game, was asked, he goes, hey, that was a really great audible by Jalen, this and that. He goes, yeah, you know what? The play was there the entire day. Yeah. And it was almost like a shot at somebody. It was a shot at somebody because he said, listen, it's open all day.
Well, I was watching, I guess it was Ole Miss. They were playing LSU, I guess. And I was watching a play calling inside the red zone by Ole Miss. And I could think as I was watching it, because all sorts of creative little moves, and they were doing all sorts of stuff.
Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, right? Oh, that's Kevin?
That's
Okay,
Lane
well,
Kiffin.
then that would explain it. That would explain it, all right? And I was looking at it, and I went, whoever that guy is,
Yeah, Lane Kiffin.
he's a way better coordinator than what we have. Because he knows how to design plays that are deceptive and creative. And we don't have that at all. I mean, Dan, this is as vanilla can get. And it's just bad. And it should be a bigger issue. But a lot of people writing football now don't know that much about the sport to see how bad it really is. And poor Hurts. Hurts, hey, Jalen, while you're at 158, passer rating, could you call the plays too if that's not too much of an imposition for you? Petullo's struggling. Could you do that too, Jalen? And then, at the end of the year, hopefully we'll find you another spot when McKee takes over.
Okay, I got two more here for you. Okay, so Brandon Graham, I want to go back and go there. Okay, so they went to the AARP card, and now they're going to Brandon Graham. I mean, is this just a stopgap to get to November 4th, the trading deadline? How in the world do they think that this is going to improve the edge rushers, which are maybe the worst edge rushers in the league right now, and more of an indictment on the general manager? I mean, explain this one to me. Why are they going to this? Why not just make a trade?
Well, right now, I think they need both. I think it's
Okay.
desperation. Brandon Graham's not a starter. He's a 20 snap guy, maybe.
Sure. Maybe.
He had 3.5 snaps, 3.5 sacks last year. Not bad for a guy just coming in off this bench, but he's not going to be able to do any more than that. Who knows how kind of shape he's in? Do you really think you've been out all these months and you're going to come back and stop playing football?
No.
I assume they'll try to have him ready for after the bye, but only in a real, 10 snaps or so a game. That he's just in there with the veteran presence. Probably he'll help in the locker room because he's a great leader. But it's sad to me because you're right that isn't going to be enough either.
No,
you're going to have to get somebody else. I had no idea Huff was doing well now because he was useless here. Right, so
he's doing very
Huff is well. Sweat is doing well. Milt Williams is out there somewhere. You got all these guys you let go. Who'd you replace him with?
Nobody.
They play one guy who retired in the middle of the season. They said, I'm out. We got a game Sunday. I'm out. I know. I'm done. Where's he? 30? I know what he is. He's retired. Maybe we should have vetted that a little better.
Yeah,
no,
I'm with you.
Always had a bad off season, and you're paying the price right now.
I got one last one for you. So I watched that press conference by Dombrowski and Rob Thompson. And you know what? I wish you were on the air in Philly so bad because I had to turn it off because it was just Angelo was so pathetic. I'm like, dude, you were the team you should be in. Now, look, maybe the World Series was the Phillies and the Dodgers because I think those were the two best teams in baseball. But I mean, what was your takeaway on that whole thing?
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for how out of touch it was with the basics of it. Rob Thompson. How many years of Rob Thompson taking one of the greatest rosters the Phillies have ever had and blowing it up every year during the playoffs because of stupid managing decisions, either by the book or that bunt in game 2 of the NLDS, which was totally against the book. Whatever reason, he can't manage in the biggest game. You've seen it for 4 years. You're Dave Dombrowski. All Dave does is play for today. Dave has always mortgaged every team to win this year.
No doubt.
And he's bringing this guy back to ruin one more, a fifth one. In my blog today, I openly question whether Dombrowski may be senile because there's no friggin' way he would bring that guy back. No way. What he did. What more do you need to see? At least be tested for the potential of insanity because you keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. No, I'm telling you, Dan, it's embarrassing. And I'm out. All right, understand it. I'm not rooting for the Phillies next season. I will not put myself through that again because I know Thompson will do all the same crap he's done for 4 straight years. And nobody, here's the real story. This would be something they'd look at if the media balls enough to come out and say, that's enough for Rob. Yeah, he's a wonderful man. That's not what managing is. Being a wonderful man doesn't get you anything in managing. Get somebody in there who knows how to manage a game. We are having problems right now with the 2 biggest sports that the coaching and managing stinks. And that's what you're seeing right now. And I say that after an Eagles victory.
Let me say this. I want to sneak this one in. Have you ever in your entire life ever seen a performance like Shohei Ohtani with those 3 bombs and those 6 strikeouts? I mean, Angelo, you probably have a little more of a reference on this. I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm not going to go Wilt's 100, but I don't know, man. I've never seen anything in sports, NFL. I've never seen anything in NBA. I've never seen maybe Gretzky. I don't know. Have you ever seen anything in your life where a guy hits 3 home runs and strikes out 10 guys in 6 innings?
No, here's the thing. They did 3 home runs. Reminded me of Reggie Jackson. And I guess it was 78 or 79, one of those years. So 77. And that's 3 home runs. That's like this major series event. Same game, same person, struck out 10 in 6 shutout innings. Seriously? I mean, Babe Ruth was a guy who pitched and hit, but he never did that one game.
No, he never did that at the same time.
Right. Now, here's the thing. Now, and I know this is going to come off as sour grapes, but at some point, baseball has to address the fact that every great Japanese player now wants to play in LA for the Dodgers because, and I guess it's because I went there, right? But you can't have an even playing field for free agents. You have a $400 million budget and then have an entire country's talent accessible to you. In addition to that, that is not a level playing field. Seriously. I mean, at some point, I don't think it's thing about these great Japanese players, and they have a lot of them, all right? They don't necessarily take the biggest offer. They take a place where they feel comfortable and can excel. So you're seeing Sasaki come in the 9th inning, throwing 101, 102. You got the other pitcher.
Yamamoto.
I can't even pronounce it. He's fantastic. Ohtani is hitting home runs and striking people out, right? You're going, well, I don't think we're going to be able to match that kind of firepower. So that's my one little bitch, but it wouldn't matter. If Thompson had all 3 of those great Japanese players and all of his own roster, I can absolutely guarantee you he would screw it up at some point in the playoffs and the Phillies would not win because he can't figure out what to do in big moments. And that's why he's back because we didn't have enough. And I am out. You understand? I am out. I am not a Phillies fan. I am not. I am just going to watch from a detached perspective.
You make sure you tell Rhea thank you very much for those kind words because I appreciate that very much. And I get what's going on over there right now. So thank you. Yep. And by the way, I'll make sure the next time we get Eskin on to make sure that you were quite perplexed about Tanner McKee. Take it over.
I tell you what. I heard that he's going to say next time he comes on that Taiwan Walker is winning the Cy Young Award next year because he watched him in practice and he hasn't shown. He's got a trick pitch now. It's going to be amazing. Hot take, guys. Useless.
Yeah, folks, make sure you check out AngeloCataldi.com. We will check you in 2 weeks. We'll do it again. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm tired now. It might even be 3 this time. I'm exhausted.
Check back Thank you, Angelo. I appreciate you, my friend. Absolutely. God, I love it. Make sure you check out AngeloCataldi.com. God, that's when that station was great. You had him in the morning, you had Howard in the afternoon. And they would go back and forth, and that's what made WIP. When I was a kid growing up, I'd hear it up in Connecticut. You would hear that on the old 610 stick. right? Love it. Love it. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. And Xander, if we have any supers that was going on during that interview, bottom of the hour, Gary Cobb will be with us. And then Xander is going to be the Mariano Rivera closer for the Sports Monday here. Why are some of y'all being soft-ass bitches? I don't always agree with Silz, but I don't take personal shots. Grow the fuck up and be Philly fans. Hey, my friend, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, man, get this. I've been doing this for a long time, my friend, but I appreciate that. And by the way, thank you for the super. Are you kidding, my friend? People have been throwing these things at me for a long time. I know everybody always goes, Big Silz, I can do this. I can do the shows like he can. I know. Somehow they never sound like me. Real quick, Silz, give me your top 5 AFC Super Bowl contenders. Actually, I wrote that down, my friend. So let me go over here. And let me go here. Let's do AFC and NFC. Here's my NFC teams. By the way, Xander, if we have some more here, I'll read them. Appreciate you guys. You have the best football analysis anywhere. I can't wait to hear Angelo's take. Keep on keeping. Thank you, William. That is very kind of you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, not very good. We'll talk a little bit about that. I don't have a problem with that. By the way, my loss to Louisville, who is undefeated, looks a lot better than that Alabama loss. Bama. Bama lost to who? A 3-4 FSU team? How you doing? Hey, Carson Beck threw 4 picks. I get it. You lost to Tommy Castellanos, who, by the way, that was a cheap-ass hit in that Stanford game. So here. Let me write these teams down. 4, 5. Okay, so I'll go AFC first, and then I'll do NFC. Let's see. Ooh, what's this? Dan Orlovsky. This is one of the best throws I've seen from Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts really owned the line of scrimmage yesterday. Hurts lied on the final snap. Yeah, I got it. That wasn't a play call. By the way, I'm still waiting for that clip you guys said that I said about Josh Sweat. Just send it over to @Dan Sileo show when you see fit. So let me go here. AFC. Boy, that damn Big Silz pick of the Patriots looked good. Damn, that pick of the Los Angeles Chargers. A little rough right now. They're a game behind the Broncos right now, but tied with the Chiefs. So they're a game back right now, but I'm still hanging in there. But that pick on the Patriots looks fuck good. AFC. Sorry, but the Colts have to be number 1. That team's for real. Number 2. I'm going to go Chiefs. Number 3. I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I'm going Patriots. Number 4. Bills. And number 5. I'm still going to hang with the Chargers. Colts, Chiefs, Patriots, Bills, and Chargers are my AFC teams. My NFC teams. Lions, Lions, Bucks, Eagles, Packers, '49ers. Those would be my teams right now. Colts, Chiefs, Patriots, Bills, Chargers. NFC, Lions, Bucks, Eagles, Packers, 49ers. Anybody else in the NFC? I'll tell you what, Carolina, we said would be one of our improved teams. They are. They're 4-3. You know, for the record, too, the NFC South is not that bad. I mean, the NFC South has improved. 5-1 Bucks, 4-3 Carolina, 3-3 Falcons. Saints stink. The NFC West, 2 teams at 5-2, 1 team at 4-2, and the Cardinals underachieving. The Central Division is still good. Packers, Lions, the Bears improved, and you got a 3-3 Minnesota team. So it would be the NFC North is the best division right now. The NFC East has improved. The Cowboys are getting better. Guys, the Cowboys are getting better. They are. They're just not good enough on defense to go anywhere. But they're getting better. I mean, they're throwing the football around the yard right now. It is so hard to believe that the Philadelphia Eagles have been outgained in every single game this year. And they're 5-2. It's insane. But the Washington, 3-4, struggling quarterback, his health has been an issue. The Giants are a weird team. I think they're getting better. I don't think they're really – I mean, they're scratching along better. The Broncos have clearly gotten better. The Chargers, I think they're wobbling a bit. I mean, the Colts did whatever they wanted to do. The Chiefs are getting better. By the way, the addition of Rashid Rice has made them better. Silz, if Hurts can consistently complete passes inside the zone coverage, especially if they draw more plays from under center, would that help the run game? I think immensely. I do. I think immensely. The Colts are for real. They did whatever they wanted to do on the road at SoFi against the Chargers. They are a dominant football team at the point of attack. Let me see where Daniel Jones is right now. He's playing as good a football as I've seen, dude. I mean, I can't believe that's the same guy. So get this. Daniel Jones is on pace right now for 4,500 passing yards and 26 touchdowns with only 6 picks. Fucking crazy great. Somebody asked me the other day what Hurts is on pace for. Let me see that. See where he is right now. Obviously, the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks has helped that. Helped that cause. So let me see here. $36, 38, 27 TDs and 2 picks. 108.9. He would have increased his attempts at 474 from a year ago from 361. That's already telling you what's changing. What's changing in Philadelphia right now is last year they had 361 attempts. Now, that was in 15 ball games. But there's obviously, because the run game is struggling. Okay? Yes, the Bucs lost to the Eagles. Again, week-to-week league. I wouldn't look at it like that. I think Seattle is legit. I think they're a good football team too. Yeah, it's hard for me to say that Daniel Jones is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. It's crazy, but he is. Daboll's awful head coach. Well, there's no doubt that Josh Allen is better right now with Joe Brady being the coordinator than even Brian Daboll was. Silz, I don't trust Chargers because of their defense, the Chargers. I don't want to hang and Herbert is inconsistent issues. I think that comes with their fact that their offensive line has been inconsistent as well. They got issues in their old line big time. If the Lions beat the Bucs tonight, that shakes things up. There will be so many two-loss teams. Right. I would put like this. Look, you see this list of NFC teams that I put here? Lions, Bucs, Eagles, Packers, 49ers. I think you shake them up and put them in a hat and put them in any order you want. I think you could do that on the AFC side as well. I don't think there's one team that's number one. But I would say this. Eagles would get the advantage with me. Why? Eagles would get the advantage because they've won. And they're the defending champ. So they'd get the benefit with me. Never happened. Silz, Colts is scary because of how good Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, this is the best he's looked since his rookie year. Don't get carried away with the quarterback takes in October. Fair enough. Well, then I wouldn't get carried away with somebody throwing for 158 quarterback rating in one football game. Fair enough. Let's use the same metric. Silz, can anyone beat IMG? Maybe Matter Day. You're talking Matter Day out in LA? Woodrow Wilson in South Florida is pretty good. But Matter Day is probably the only team in the country that could beat that IMG team. IMG goes to Philly, Columbus, Chicago. They go everywhere around the country. Says you got the wrong guy if you think I got carried away with Hurts' performance. Okay, listen. I want everyone to get carried away a bit with what he did. That was a sensational performance. Listen, I want to make sure we land there with that. And that you understand that. I have said nothing negative. I have been consistent with him. I want to see it every week. By the way, doesn't have to be 158 quarterback rating. Nobody in their fucking right mind would think that. Seals, Jalen and AJ and Smitty took Brian Flores to the woodshed. And yet, they almost won the game. Seals, did you know the quarterback from Indiana is from the Miami area? Don't tell me that. That kid's from the Miami area. Not a shocker. We let everybody get loose. And he's the number one Heisman guy, too. I don't have any idea who I'm voting for. By the way, Diego Pavia, the kid from Vanderbilt, has my interest. All right. I mean, I like what that kid has done. I do. Hurts says this every year. He has occasionally high passer games. Like, remember the Steelers last year? Yeah, that's exactly K-Gun. Hey, listen, once again, I'm not looking for him to go out there and throw for 300 yards every game. I just want to have some balance in there to help out the football team because you're not going to win the same. You're not going to win the same way you won last year. It's very obvious. Hey, listen, the reason why I go is Barkley shot. It's one or the other. Either your O-line shot or Barkley shot. Pick one. And this is an indictment on your guys. Happy Monday, Big Seals. Do you remember Frank Wright saying Bryce Young was not an NFL quarterback? Do you think his opinion has changed, and has yours changed? He's getting better. The Fighting Dave Canales are doing a really good job now. I think Dave's connecting. They're getting better talent around him too, by the way. The Eagles are so shitty, overhyped. I don't think they're overhyped. Well, after yesterday, Barkley's not shot. I can't wait. We just talked to Angelo Cataldi, so we're going to talk with Gary Cobb here in a second here. Barkley's not shot. It's the run play calling plus online or the O-line health. Okay? Well, listen, either Saquon Barkley's shot or the O-line's injured. Or they're just not good. What is it? Pick one. Or both. It's 7 games. As Gary Cobb and I know, those are trends. Gary and I, unlike some of you in here, when you guys see numbers and stats, I don't see them as stats. I see them as trends. What a team likes to do in I formation, what a team likes to do in spread, what a team likes to do with 12 personnel. There's a way of looking at games. You fans see it different. Me and him will look at positions. He'll probably look at linebackers. I look at the D-line play, how they affect the linebackers. That's how I look at football. Okay. So I'm sure everybody thinks that Jalen Hurts is Dan Marino now. After yesterday's performance, I mean, even though it was the 31st ranked passing attack going in, and I got to tell you, boy, Carson Wentz, I'm still thinking he wears the Eagle colors because he was doing everything he could yesterday to help that football team. And I have never asked Gary Cobb this question from Fox 29. Let's bring him in, and I'm going to ask him one question here. If Carson Wentz didn't get hurt in that Rams game, do you think he carries that football team at 17 to a Super Bowl?
Well, the way he was rolling then, I'd probably say he had a good chance to do it.
Okay.
No guarantees, but, he was playing great football then. The thing is, like yesterday, Carson believed in taking chances. Sometimes he'd go too far. Well, after that year, he started going too far. Seemed like that year, man, making great throws, where the kind of throw, great, oh, man.
Yeah, right.
But he believed in his arm, and all great quarterbacks, they believe in their arm, but it caught up with him. Like you see yesterday, he drops back, he's going over the middle, and he doesn't realize, they dropped the linebacker into that spot. The guy that was on the line of scrimmage dropped out of there. You hit him, you throw the ball right to him. You get killed by Jalen Carter. And he's laying there on the ground, and he looks up, and he's running back for a touchdown. He got a helmet in his ribs, But Carson believed in making mistakes. The throw, the other interception. Come on.
Yeah.
Just throw the ball up. Come on. You can't.
Hey, Gary, he might as well just punted that.
That's I mean, he just threw it up. And that's reckless.
Yes.
That's reckless. Now, Jalen, he goes the opposite. He goes the opposite way, which is times he will take a sack, going, oh, no, don't take the sack. He'll take the sack rather than throw the ball up for grabs, and that's
he thinks the sack is a safer play than throwing it into coverage, which is
wait, say that again?
He thinks taking a sack is probably he obviously thinks it's safer than throwing into coverage.
Without a doubt. In time, sometimes he goes too far that way, So where he can be where he knows the stats that if you do win the turnover battle, usually you win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a stat that's pretty strong. One of the strongest stats that you'd be surprised if you see how often it is. It works out that way. You win the turnover battle, you win the game. Sometimes, Jalen just goes too far with it, holding on to the ball, running around back there, Yesterday, though.
What was your takeaway from yesterday's win?
Well, the big thing was I thought that they did a great job with making adjustments at the line of scrimmage, with the passing game.
A lot of under center stuff, Gary.
A lot of under center stuff. They thought they saw something. They want to change the look of what they're doing. But they still have not solved the puzzle. But they were able to solve it enough though, where you had Devontae, of course, had a great game. And Devontae's a soldier, man. You don't hear much from Devontae. He doesn't stir things up. He doesn't say anything.
Yep.
He's at times he's willing to be second fiddle. He only gets 2 throws. He doesn't say anything. He's not the kind of guy. He's not a high maintenance, guy, which is different than a lot of receivers.
Absolutely.
But he's low maintenance, and the guy runs great routes. That on that deep ball, he ran a great route. And took Rodgers. The thing about it is they went after Rodgers. I mean,
boy, they did, didn't it? Seem like they went after his ass, didn't they?
When a form you used to play for that team and they're going after you, what does that say that they think of you? But they clearly went after him and took him to the cleaners because 2 of the biggest plays in the game.
Yeah.
That deep ball and the deep throw to AJ pretty much ended the game. Were both on Rodgers, and it wasn't an accident, that they were coming after him, and he can't feel good about that, But really, when I think about the Eagles game, though,
would you make a Barkley?
You got to get better, man.
How about this? Would you make a Barkley? Do you think Barkley's shot, the O-line, is injured?
It's the line.
The line.
Okay, the injuries have hurt them. And the thing is, they started out the game with they were running the ball well when they started the game. But when Juergens went down, the kid they threw in there,
Toth, he's terrible.
I mean, he's a backup. When the guy's a backup, you're going like the guys. I see why the guy's a backup. I mean, you're not going to send better players in there. Plus, center is not something, that he's done a lot of. So that was, they made it out of there with a W. I think they got to be fortunate to do that. But hopefully, as the season goes on, they're going to need the passing game to carry them. I mean, because they're not getting enough push up there on that line, man. People are getting after him. And it's going to be interesting here with this game against the Giants because, the Giants slapped them around pretty good, man.
Oh yeah, no, they worked them.
So, that Giants defensive line, they rushed the passer. They got some good players up there. In fact, they got some outstanding players up there. So they got their work cut out for them, and they need a running game. They don't. I mean, for them to block these guys in a passing game without a running game, I don't see how they can do it. They got to be able to run the ball. They got to be able to have some success running the ball. So we'll see what they do, man. But it's this is going to be something that's very interesting game because the Giants slapped the Eagles around. They haven't had people do that to them.
No, that's probably the first time that was belt to ass kind of game for the Eagles. What'd you make it a defensive effort? What'd you make? I mean, if you look at this, I mean, as bad as Carson Wentz played, this is the 7th game in a row that the Philadelphia Eagles have been outgained by an opponent. 387, almost 400 yards. They threw the ball for over 300 yards in the football game. And there's that one glaring thing. 3 for 10 on 3rd down in the ball game, which meant that the defense was on the field a lot for 3 and outs. And maybe that constituted a little bit of, some of the play back there. But what'd you make of that defensive effort?
Well, I saw some things I liked, of course, the turnovers, where
Alex Hunt.
That was a big play. But you just don't see the, you see them getting moved. I mean, the guys are running, you see holes where, golly, man, that's 12 yards on a run right up the middle. So I think the big fella, he's going to have to get in shape. He's got to get in better shape. Big Jalen. That was a nice play on Hurts.
hitting him in. That interception was a lot on Jalen Carter.
That was
So
Jalen Carter. No doubt about it. That had a lot to do with him. He created that. But they need him to get in the kind of shape where he can be the dominant player he was last year. That's what they're going to need.
Do you think he misses Sweat and Milton Williams?
No, I don't think so. I just think he got distracted. Man, come on. Starts out the season with the nonsense where he gets thrown out of the game. I saw his agent out there, a few times at training camp. I'm going, man, get this agent out of here, man. Go home. Because he's getting ready to get a lot of money, probably. Things haven't worked out so far this year the way he wanted it to. But he needs to kick it into gear, man. They need the kind of dominant play. Now, he did make that play on that interception. But, show us why they want to give you that money. I mean, or maybe they say, you know what? We'll give you 20,
Or they pick the fifth-year option up and make him come back and play next year.
I know he wouldn't be happy about that. I know he wouldn't be happy about that, but he needs to show up, man. They need him to put together some dominant games. They could use one here against the Giants.
I never thought about that, but right now I'm not paying him $40 million a year.
No.
On a contract extension based on what I've seen so far this year.
That's why you're going like you're a kid, because if you got a $40 million deal possibly coming up, are you going to do the nonsense spitting on Dak Prescott before the game? You're going to do some nonsense like that? You're going to, man, are you crazy?
And play up and down the way he has.
Hey, I have had guys, and come on, we weren't making that kind of money, but I had guys that would say, hey, look, man, don't play with my money, man.
Yeah, right. No doubt.
They didn't have time for any nonsense, especially they got a contract coming up, and you see how young he is. But they need him now. They need him to step up, starting with this game here, because they could very easily lose again to the Giants, but they don't need to do that. But there's no guarantee. Because they're going to have their work cut out for blocking the Giants, with some of these guys banged up and everything. They got their work cut out for them blocking the Giants.
Do you think that the Eagle passing game will ever be consistent, or are we going to get these type of spotty games? And like you said, they're going to have to be a lot more consistent because of the lack of the running game.
That's right.
Do you believe that they can be consistent? Listen, I don't want to speak for you, Gary, but I don't think you're talking about a passer rating of 158 every week. But they've got to be a little bit more balanced in their attack. Right. Do you think they can be?
Am I betting with your money or my money?
No. You're betting with Monopoly money, not my money either.
Well, I can't say they proved that to me.
They haven't.
I can't say they proved that to me yet, man. I was impressed with the way they threw the ball and everything. And I like the way that Jalen made adjustments there at the line of scrimmage, on that last touchdown to AJ, you can see that he sent him the route he wanted them to run.
Hey, Gary, it looked like they drew the play in the dirt like you did in your backyard. Hey. What route was he running?
Well, and the thing about it is you got two guys that you're going to be throwing the ball to most of the time. So they need to get communication where, look, man, we need you guys to do some special things, or some of these games we're not going to win because we can't run the ball right now, So they basically is one-dimensional, and they need those guys to step up. So I don't know that I really could say that I'm so confident that they're going to do it, but I do think they can.
What did you take away though from the game? See, to me, I'm with you. Look, the Viking game told me nothing. It really didn't. Green Bay and the Lions is going to tell me a lot coming up. Though, the Giant game, how they respond against that divisional opponent, will tell me. I take that game on Sunday, and people are mad at me over it. I take that game as a nice beginning in the past game. But let's remember, even the players said at the end of the game there, when they got into the locker room, we wanted to run the ball. We kind of were forced to throw the ball.
That's right. They were forced to throw the ball. That's right. And some of the things that happened, I mean, like on that third down play where Hurts is able to run around back there a little bit. He's rolling to his right, and he hits AJ on the third down, a big play where he was able to get the first down over there near the sideline. You're ad-libbing. Is that going to happen every time? No. Sometimes, that defensive end is going to be smart enough to keep contained, But so right now, man, I don't see how you could be sure about what they're doing so far. I'm not sure. I came into the season thinking that they could run the ball on anybody. Well, we sure don't believe that anymore.
Okay, so the other news of yesterday was, I guess they went to the AARP card, and there's talk of Brandon Graham. I mean, dude, you're going there to a 37-year-old edge rusher. Gary, you got any more plays left in you, man? Maybe they could get a little extra there for linebacker for you, man. I mean, where are you going here? What's your takeaway on that? Brandon Graham maybe coming back. There's a story that maybe not, maybe he is, but it got thrown out there. One of the big reporters nationally put that out there. I think Schefter did. You tell me what your takeaway is on it.
I think that, I've heard some other people tell me that, there's a chance that could happen. In fact, a good chance that could happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if, we find out he's coming back now. Is he going to come back and just turn everything around? The thing I think he can do is that he does have a personality where he brings some life into things. And so if he could play a little bit and get some of these guys going, because what ultimately they're going to need is, which will cover over a lot of things, is a pass rush. If they can get to where they can rush the passer, because they're going to need it. They're not going to be able to beat some of these teams if they got quarterbacks standing back there patting the ball, and because there are going to be some openings because they really have one good corner, So if he can come back, the thing he will add is his personality and being a guy. He'll be able to keep these guys going, but you really going to need to get some of the other guys that are hurt back. But I don't see him just coming in and really doing a lot from a player standpoint where he's just going to come in and help that much. I don't know how much. I don't think he has, but so much left in the tank. So I think they'll make more of it than it is, But they're going to need some of their younger guys. They're going to have to grow up fast. They need contributions. They got to get a better pass rush than they have. Come on. Well, look at yesterday. I mean, Wentz threw for 300, almost 400 yards. Come on.
He did everything to lose that game. My wife and I are watching and we're going, I've never seen a team want to lose a game more than the Vikings. And they still almost won. Get this. Wentz had to throw the greatest game of his entire career to beat that team.
Yeah.
That was a takeaway for me.
Yeah, well, but I think that tells you something, though, in that, Jalen does have a chance to rise to because he's beaten a lot of teams, not just his arm, but with his legs. Yeah. He really didn't do anything with his legs there yesterday. In fact, that is an element they're probably going to have to bring back into the game is his legs, which is, you're running the RPOs and you're giving him a chance to hurt people with his legs. Because they got to get some kind of running game going. I mean, they haven't done anything. I mean, they haven't done anything on the ground. They're going to need to, because I don't see them being able where they're going to come out and throw for 300 yards a game through the air. But if they add some part of a running game, so I see them maybe coming in where they start running more of the RPOs, where they give Jalen a chance to start running with the football some, because you can't just do it with you got 40 yards rushing. Come on. 40 yards rushing. I mean, this team has been amazing in that they're 5-2.
You think Barkley's okay?
Yeah, I think he's okay. Yeah, because a lot of times he's getting tackled in the backfield. I mean, so I don't think it's him. I think it's the line that a lot of those guys are banged up and everything. So I tell you what, if this team if they let's say if they win it again, man, I tell you what, then I definitely believe in miracles, man. Because if they find a way to get through it, because I definitely, I mean, with the way they, the running game, the fact that you have no running attack at all,
none,
50 yards running,
none.
and you win a game,
yeah.
And you had games this year where you throw the ball for 100 yards and you still win. They've been able to, find ways to win games, but they need a pass rush. So if you happen to see a pass rush walking down the street in your neighborhood, send them up here, man. We need the help.
Okay, finally here, I got some names I'm going to throw at you here. So according to a really great source, his name is somebody that I'm not going to throw out, but Lane Kiffin was contacted by the Board of Regents at Penn State. Obviously, his name is being thrown around for the Gator job as well. He's making $9.5 million a year at Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. The other names are Matt Rule and also Dan Mullen at UNLV, who coached at Florida, and his team is undefeated right now. Mm-hmm. Why he got fired at Florida is kind of crazy. Also, the guy Campbell at Iowa State is another guy, Matt Campbell, who his name, I mean, what type of guy do you think needs that Penn State job?
Well, I think they need somebody who is an offensive whiz. I think
that'd be Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, I could see where he would be the leader, if you ask me.
Yeah,
because he is offensive whiz. Well, you can see that. I mean, they lost the game there to Georgia.
Yep.
But you can see that he is innovative. He always has been.
Always.
He was out there at USC for a while, and he was calling the plays and everything. So he is an offensive mind, and that's the way the game is going. You get you a good young quarterback with an offensive whiz like he is, and right away you're in the hunt. Because if you can recruit the other positions, you got to be able to. You have that quarterback, and with the fact that the kids aren't able to do as much defensively as they do in the pros, that if you have an offensive guy, he can take advantage of these college defenses because they're going to keep it simple. Because these kids are not able to do as much. It's not as advanced. So if you have an offense that's ahead of them, then right away you're in the hunt. You're going to be scoring a lot of points. And if you can recruit well, you're going to be in the hunt for winning some championships. And that's what you got to do. So I can see where Lane Kiffin is definitely going to be highly sought after,
Yeah, you got to recruit PA.
Yeah.
If you get that job, you've got to recruit PA.
You got to be able to do that. But I think that if you come and say, hey, we're from Penn State, right away you're in the lead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
but you got to recruit recruit Pennsylvania and Ohio.
No doubt about it.
And New Jersey. Those three states.
Yep.
If you can recruit those three states, you're going to be in the hunt every single year. Gary, I appreciate you very much, my friend. Thank you again. Make sure you check my friend out at Fox 29. Thank you, brother.
Hey, have a good one.
You got it. Gary Cobb. Let me say something real quick before we get back to the Eagles here. That interview on game day with James Franklin was fucking an abomination. It was the biggest DEI interview I've ever seen in my life. They tried to turn a guy who's getting $50 million fucking dollars into a victim. Nobody on the desk, including Nick Saban and Pat McAfee, questioned the 4-21 record at Penn State. Dude, you sucked. You were 4-21. Nobody addressed the fact you lost. They made him look like a victim. I was like, dude, he can't win big games. I mean, props for what? 4-21? Dude, if you're 4-21 at Alabama, you're not allowed back in the state. $50 million victim. You know what this goes back to? It's making Penn State have to eat the whole paternal bullshit again. Big Bet Penn State, look at what he did. It wasn't him. It was Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien was the one that steadied the ship after the Paterno mess. It wasn't Franklin. That's right. They pulled the race card. Okay? Hold on here. Let me see this. Come on, Silz. You understand the interview courtesy. You do it with all your guests. They weren't going to bash him on that. Hold on. I'm not having him on my show if I'm going down that lane. I do it with my guest. I don't put him on if I'm going to bash the guy and then turn around and have the guy on my show and not question him about a 4-21 record. I'm not putting James Franklin on my show. To do a PR interview? That was a PR interview for his next gig. I would never have put him on. After being fired, if you can't ask questions. By the way, when I got Doug on, I asked him about his exit. When I got Doug on, I asked him about Jalen Hurts. I asked him about Carson Wentz. Are you crazy, man? So nobody questioned the 4-21, and it was a complete softball interview. You did it for his next job. He failed at Penn State. I'm not putting him on. If you can't go down the line of asking him a question, I'm not having that guy on. But you made Penn State into the bad guy. Sorry, dude. That was absolutely ridiculous of an interview. He's a loser coach. He got 50 fucking million bucks out the door. You know what they were saying? Hey, my poor daughter can't go to Penn State now. She's crying to me. Buy her a fucking house. You've got 50 million bucks. Late to the show question. So last season, the run set up the pass. Now the pass has set up the run. Much love, Silz. Thank you, Roland. You don't have anything to set up the pass. You don't have a run game. Bill O'Brien helped change the pedo state. Okay? He did. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have put him on. If that was going to be that kind of interview, no way. Okay? No way. Absolutely. Sure. Yes, Sander. Yes. Absolutely. I'm not putting that fucker on. To sit there and give you questions so that you can have an interview for your next gig. Yeah, okay. Hey, congratulations to you. Yeah, by the way, if you tuned into that interview, you had no idea why he was fired. You had no idea. You thought just Big Penn State made a mistake. Silz, why do you hate the Gators so much? Because they're scumbags. And Miami beats the shit out of them all the time. Ask Xander why he hates Auburn. I'm sure he's got the same answer to you. All right. I mean, hey, nowadays I think it's ask him if he likes Vandy. Vanderbilt, man. Holy shit. That was a great win by Bama. Hey, by the way, big win by Bama. Beating Tennessee. That's always a gigantic win. By the way, you know what was Spurrier's line about Tennessee? You can't spell citrus without UT. Without further ado, holy cow. What an absolutely great pre and post we had yesterday on JAKIB. Without further ado, my friend, Big Z, Xander Krause.
What's up, Big Silz? How you doing, brother?
Oh, good, my friend. I mean, 24 hours. after the fact. Any different takeaways from yesterday's game?
Well, absolutely, man. I mean, I think I rewatched the game, so I saw a bunch more things that I want to get into today. I don't think everything is all clear, but look, I got to do this. When I come on the show for the last week and a half, and I'm hard on Jalen Hurts, or I say things about Jalen Hurts, this is exactly what I want. Now, this is an extreme example because he was perfect. I'm not expecting him to be perfect every week. But this is exactly what I want to see week in and week out, or at least close to this level for this team. It goes back to the summer, Silz, when I put Jalen Hurts in my MVP, and I said, he's going to throw for 4K and 30 touchdowns. Remember? And you laughed at me. And it still looks like it might be a laughable comment. But the whole premise was Barkley's not going to be able to do it again, and we lost too much on defense. So the new formula for this team is MVP Jalen Hurts or lose to the New York Football Giants. I honestly think that right now. The defense isn't good enough. The offensive line's not good enough. The running game is incoherent and a non-factor right now. I mean, someone pointed it out. Jalen Hurts needed to play perfect to squeak by the Vikings. The Philadelphia Eagles as a team, right? The Philadelphia Eagles as a team are not what they were a year ago, which means our quarterback's going to have to lift us up. But he does deserve a lot of credit, man. He had a great game yesterday. I thought he let the game come to him. You know, when you rewatch the tape, it's not like he was jumping out and trying to jump on everything. It was kind of a slow first half offensively.
It was because they were trying to run the ball.
Right. They were trying to run. They were trying to do some different things. He let the game come to him. He took what was there. He made all the throws that you needed him to make. And also, you know, they did a couple things on offense differently, even a little bit. Now, I got to rip Brian Flores. I'm going to get there in a second, but on the Devontae Dagger, 6 offensive line on the field, play action under center. They had 2 yards all season in play action under center before that game. Like this is where I have a problem with the coaching. Like it shouldn't take a professional coach 7 games to figure out that when you give a different look under center, you might throw the defense off a little bit.
Unless he's new on the job.
Right. Even then, new on the job, you're in the NFL. I mean, is there any meritocracy on the way up to the NFL? I don't know. So I that was exciting for me in that they were able to do a little bit of a different thing on offense. Now, I don't think everything's fixed offensively. Okay. Sorry, I'm rambling here, but I just want to get my first couple thoughts out, and then we'll kind of talk about it all. But Brian Flores, what the fuck was he thinking in that game? And again, I'm excited for the Eagles offense. I'm excited for Jalen Hurts, but hear me out. This is a team who came into the game. They were struggling against zone defenses. Everybody knew it. Everybody talked about it. They're struggling to run the football, right? They're 26th in the run game. Brian Flores' entire game plan was stack the box and play man coverage on the cornerbacks. Oh, dude, it's the only thing the Eagles offense has been handling is blitzing and man coverage. And that's what he did all game.
Bro,
I mean, you couldn't make a case. You don't even need to stack the box right now to stop the Eagles' run game. So I thought his game plan was absolutely pitiful.
Oh, get this. The last play, the one that like AJ ended the game on down the sideline, before the snap of the ball, I look at my wife, I go, why are you single covering that guy? It made no sense. I'm like, they're going there. You see they're going there. And I thought they had just a poor game plan. But here's like you said, and we said it in the post-game show, Jalen Hurts played a perfect game and maybe the best passing game of his career as an Eagle, one of them. And they still almost lost.
Well, that's the story of the team right now, Silz. This is a talented football team with not as much depth, with not as good of a defense, with not as good of an offensive line. I know you've been hard on Barkley today, and I don't.
Well, no, I'm gonna get to him next.
We'll get there. I'm okay with your take because at the end of the day, it is 7 games. I mean, he's never had a 7-game run in his career where he didn't go over 100 yards. It's the first time in his career.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he's never. So it's a fair comment. I'm just saying every time I rewatch this tape, I mean, I just gave them credit for going into play action. Offensively, in the running game,
I don't know if they're stuck on this bully ball. Shout out to Curtis in the chat who keeps telling me he thinks they're stubborn on last year. I think he might be right. They're running inside zone into the same 3 offensive linemen who can't block. They're struggling this year. The only 2 offensive linemen who are playing well is Lane and Mailata. I haven't seen one run to the outside.
Right, run.
Dude, give them a pitch. Give them do something different in the
stretch
running game.
Play.
Right, and they're just not doing that. I mean, they're hitting Saquon behind the line of scrimmage. I don't think it's a Saquon problem at all, but it's certainly an offensive line problem.
Okay, so either Barkley's washed or the O-line's washed. Who is it?
I think it's the O-line as it right now. I don't know if washed is the right term because they're not. It's not like they're 30, 35. You know what I mean? Like, I think they could return, but I think they're damaged from last year. I think they are banged up.
So you think 2024 did more harm to the O-line than it did to Barkley?
Yeah, and that's been a consistent take that we've kind of had on the show together, where we at least talked about, who it might affect more. And I do think that's a big part of it. I mean, you watch
the reason why I went overboard with Barkley is because, dude, as you said, this is 7 games now.
Yeah, and I get that. I'm not going to sit up here and
the pass protection too. His pass protection sucks.
Yeah, that's been bad. His pass protection's been really bad. But I'm telling you, Silz, I'm rewatching this game today. Tyler Steen deserves credit for the pass protection. He's done good. In fact, if people want to rewatch the game and just focus on one thing, watch the pass protection in the game. The offensive line and pass pro is not a problem. I mean, that first touchdown to A.J. Brown.
They were great yesterday.
They were great. That first touchdown to A.J. Brown, Hurts kind of sat there. And credit to him for staying in the pocket and maneuvering it. He stood there. The pass protection's been great. But Tyler Steen, last year, Mekhi Becton, he moved guys off the line of scrimmage 1.5 yards this way. This year, it's just staying put or moving backward. He just doesn't have the strength or the size or the push that Becton had. And I think that's one of the biggest issues with the running game right now.
He's more of a technique guy.
What's that?
Steen's more of a technique guy than Becton was more of a bully guy.
Yeah, exactly. Becton's a real bully, man. And you just don't have that with Steen. And I think that's one of the issues with the running game. So I think the Eagles are in a better spot. But my question is, do they have it fixed for when the next team comes out and drops back into cover 2 or drops back into zone defenses? You know what I mean? Like or cover 3 or any of these other zone defenses that teams are using on us right now. Because again, this is why I ripped Flores. I'm like, bro, how do you watch the Eagles' first 6 games and you come out and you go stack the box with man coverage? Jalen destroyed him in man coverage all game to the tune of 158.3 passer rating. I mean, you have 1-on-1 with Devontae and AJ. You have 3rd and 10 to seal the game. And they got Isaiah Rodgers in 1-on-1 with AJ Brown. Like, I just didn't. That was a bad read by Isaiah Rodgers. He was supposed to drop back there. He had safety help underneath. But anyway, I didn't understand the Flores game plan. Major credit to Jalen Hurts for taking advantage of it. And now we got to see where we go from here, man. I think the team's got to keep building on this.
There you go, right there. Where do you go from here now? Do you believe that this is a sign of things to come? Or do you believe they go back to this Giant game and they go back to how they started the game yesterday? Do they go back to trying to establish the run? Or do you think, because, listen, here's something I noticed today when I was looking at Hurts' stats. He's on pace for almost 500 attempts. That's 140 more than he had a year ago, albeit.
Wow, is that what he's on pace for?
Yeah, he's on pace for like 480 right now. Last year, he threw the ball for 361 times. So, to me, Xander, I'm starting to think they're starting to morph into throwing the ball more here because they're seeing and they're gradually moving into that position. So, do you think yesterday is a beginning? Do you think it's something that they're going to start to do?
I think it might be time. It might be time for the Eagles.
And the Giants are terrible in the secondary.
They played zone coverage, though. Well, it might be time for the Eagles to become a passing team for a little bit. All right? And I know people tell me, and John tells me all the time, that it's because of the quarterback that they're not a passing team. I don't want to fucking hear it. Let him show me. Be a passing team and let Jalen show me that he
Okay.
can't handle it. Because
think
every
that's
time they
fair.
put more on his plate, he seems to handle
Okay.
it.
Well, then how about this? I think that's a fair comment by you. If you want to call this guy an elite passer, an elite quarterback,
Right, put it on him,
let the
man.
next 5 games to fucking show me.
I agree. I mean, start passing the football. And
Because if
again,
they go back to 114 yards next week, I don't want to hear anybody talk to me about being a consistent. Now, again, if you're running the ball for 250 yards, that's a whole different context, right? And by the way, I want to make sure I pull that back because the number of the passing yards is not going to determine whether or not they're balanced. If they're balanced and they're creating third down and short yardage and all that,
Right.
and you're winning first and second down, that numbers could look like it could be 150 with 200.
well, my only concern with becoming a passing team in the long term is I don't necessarily believe it's a good recipe for playoff football. When you get into playoff football, I think the running teams and the physical teams have an edge. I just do. And if they're not able to run the ball ever, I think that could be an issue come playoff time. And I don't even think that would be on Jalen Hurts. I think even the best quarterbacks need a great running game in the postseason. It's just part of football. It's part of the intricacies of the game. But right now, I think you got to let it rip. Here's the other thing. First 6 weeks, and again, I was tough on Jalen last week. I get it. People have told me in the chat. I understand.
They were 30th.
That's what I mean. I'm not mad. I was, but I saw a hesitancy for him to release the ball, right? Even down the field, where he just sometimes you're just like, bro, throw it. Yesterday, I saw him let it fly a little bit more, and when he lets it fly and he's more comfortable, I think it helps him in every area of his game. He's a better passer. He's more accurate with the football. The offense works better. The receivers get more involved. Let it fly, Jalen. Fuck the coaching staff. Whatever the case, whoever's holding you back, let it fly, dude. We want to see it. I'd rather him prove to me, Eagles fans, don't call for a passing game because I proved to you I can't do it. Rather than be told Nick Sirianni thinks that the best way to run an offense is to throw the ball 16 times a game. Fuck that. We were the 30th offense in football coming into the game, and Jalen just threw the ball over Brian Flores, the number 2 passing defense in football. Let it fly. And if he can't do it, we'll have that conversation in 5 weeks. But I don't like being told he can't do it, and we can't run the ball. None of our other offensive game plans have worked up to this point. So it's like, where else do we go? We have the great receivers. We got the great tight end. Let it fly, man. Let it fly. That's my big takeaway from the game. Let the ball fly.
Okay, here's another one here. I think the play calling is all over the place with the coordinator. I mean, I think he's all over the place. I got Devontae Smith going, the fucking play is wide open all game long. Do I need I want my players telling me and coming back to the sideline and telling me, hey, look, it's here, look, it's here. Hey, look, it's there. Okay, look, we need to do this. I don't mind that. But, bro, I mean, we're 7 games in. The guy's all over the joint. I just think he's a cookie-cutter offensive coordinator. It's either this, it's either that. It's never both. He just has a bad propensity to try to look and create balance. And Jalen goes, I give him credit because he called that play. I'm not so much talking about the design of the plays because that's what he's been doing for 4 years is designing these routes. So we called that play. But when it comes to situational play calling, I think that guy is suspect at best.
I agree 100%. And then my biggest question on him, because I know right now he's just not good. I mean, look, an offensive coordinator, I'm more with John where players matter more. But at the end of the day, coaching still matters. It's the NFL, dude. Your coaches have to give you an advantage. You can't just go out there and expect that you're going to, out-talent every football team in the National Football League. It doesn't work like that. Your coaches have to give you an advantage. And right now, I see zero advantage given to the Eagles offense from the coaching staff. My question with it is, do you think it's all Patullo, or do you think that he is kind of in a sandbox himself?
Yeah, I
where
do.
They put him in a box and said, you got to call plays within this framework.
There's
because I don't know.
There's a restriction being a coach in Philly. Head coach has one. OC has one.
But Shane is the only coordinator who did what he wanted.
Because
changed
he's
Sirianni's
the only one
offense.
that gave the game to Jalen.
Exactly, and it worked. Jalen got the ball out quick that year, and he was a top MVP candidate that year.
The fucking guy in Indianapolis right now might be they might be the best team in the league right now.
He's at the top of the MVP conversation.
I mean,
So
dude, I think Shane Steichen is really underestimated on his impact and what he meant to Jalen Hurts' growth as a quarterback in this program, because they have not put anybody near that guy next to him.
I agree.
And boy, he just lives off of that 22 coaching, and he figures it out. And I will give you that. Xander, we came off like a little tough because to me, I really didn't.
I'm always going to be tough. I don't care. I'm always going to be tough on the team. All right.
I didn't come away from that game with anything other than, okay, you beat the Vikings. This is a good beginning. This was an outstanding football game by him. But I know in my heart, he's not a consistent player. And to sit there and try to say that they're going to be consistent, and I'm going to go with you on this. All right. If you're telling me you have no run game, you know what, Xander? They may be forced into doing this and finding out what it really is.
No, I mean, the worry with
You're going to find out right now, because if that run game does not get going, we're going to find out who Jalen Hurts is for these next 5 weeks.
I agree, especially when you get some different defensive looks. You're going to get more. You're going to get more zone defenses. And
Green Bay and Detroit are going to be a problem.
Exactly, especially because they have better fronts. They have better defensive fronts, so they're not going to have to send as many. Those, the Vikings were sending players yesterday. They were sending blitzes. They were bringing the house a lot of plays. And
you got Micah Parsons coming at you, and you got Aiden Hutchinson coming at you after this game.
Yeah.
And by the way, this Giant game, you got potentially Brian Burns, you've got Abdul, you've got Dexter Lawrence in the middle in there. So let me slide over to the defense. Would you make it a defensive effort in that game?
I mean, they're not great. I mean, the two takeaways were good. Carson Wentz still, kind of shredded them up here and there. I think they have flashes of moments, but look, it's kind of what we expected before the season. Like your take on the defense preseason was really on point. It's not going to happen right away. No. They're gonna have growing pains. They're gonna have some moments, and I think that's what you're seeing. And at the end of the day, I think we all probably should have expected this from the defense, because you can't get rid of 5 starters the way they did and 3 depth pieces.
It's the bulk. It's the bulk and how many were taken off the team. It's not that you can't live without a guy. Xander.
Well, yeah, and I think I think you're going to lose. I mean, when you have a roster as stacked as you did last year, and you have win a Super Bowl, you're going to lose players. You just are. But
yeah,
they're not great.
But at least replace them.
But the offense has to carry him a little bit. I mean, look, I said it at the open. Jalen plays his best game versus the Vikings, and we squeak out with a 6-point win or a 5-point, whatever it was, 6-point win. So this team is built different this year. This team isn't built to dominate in the same way. And yesterday was all the proof of it. Jalen, again, delivered a perfect game. Devontae had a career day. A.J. Brown had 2 touchdowns, and they still only had, a 6-point win in the game. The Vikings were there. So you don't necessarily have as good of an overall team right now, and the defense is obviously a big part of that. But I got a lot of faith in Vic Fangio. I do. I got a lot of faith in him to at least put the players in good enough positions to prevail. I think they did him a major disservice this year, obviously, with the way they constructed the defense. So anybody blaming Vic, I would tell you to, direct your anger to somewhere else. I don't think it should be on Vic Fangio. But yeah, they're not perfect right now. Jordan Addison destroyed us yesterday. How many catches did Addison have yesterday? 9 or 10 at least, I think. He felt like he was catching everything. And I think Justin Jefferson, despite not feeling like he didn't have a big game, I think he still had 80 yards in the game.
Yeah.
So the defense definitely wasn't great in the football game, but I thought Dean was amazing. Boy, you noticed the difference.
You did.
Now, I like Fahad Campbell, and I was in the boat of I didn't think he was going to come off the field. But when it comes to linebacker play, Nakobe Dean sees the gap.
He was a missile.
Yeah, a missile. Perfect word. I mean, he shoots those gaps, man. He has great instinct.
He tackles behind the line of scrimmage more than any linebacker. Bond does that too. But he was a fucking missile going down that sideline, man. You noticed the team's speed pick. Didn't you notice the team's speed picked up too when he was back out there? Boy, he's really turned it around, Xander. I will tell you, man. Oh, by the way, having seen a little bit more of the game, the best defensive football player on your football team is Cooper DeJean, and there is no question about that motherfucker. He is a great football player, dude.
He is.
I had people texting me
I still
watching.
think Carter might be better.
Well, I don't know. That kid is some ball player, man.
I think if Carter, I don't want to say that. Carter, I think, has more potential, but he's got to work to live up to his potential. Like we're 7 weeks into the year, and people are still talking about conditioning with Carter. I mean, come on, man. You know,
Bro,
you don't want to hear that. So,
bro, I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you giving him that $40 million?
I think that's still yet to be determined. I don't think that's been earned yet. I don't think you're at this.
I don't think the 5th-year option's not out of the realm of possibilities either.
Well, I think they're going to keep Carter. You know.
Oh, no. I'm not saying they're not going to keep him. I'm saying, hey, you know what, man? I might extend you on. Hey, they did that with Aiden Hutchinson. Xander, they picked up the 5th year on Hutchinson. And Hutchinson, I mean, he's a pretty good football player. Do you not agree?
Hutchinson? He's an incredible football player.
Okay,
yeah,
well, they didn't give him a contract extension yet.
Yeah, well, he's coming off a nasty injury, man. That was a nasty looking injury.
Probably the only reason to the point.
So we'll see. I mean, look, I think they're going to pay Carter. To be clear, I don't think they're going to let him walk out the room. But I don't think he's right now in the room of like I think after last year, people were like, "Oh, he's going to be the highest paid defensive tackle."
You think he's going to make more than Chris Jones?
I did before the season. Right now, I could say wouldn't surprise me if Howie negotiated it under that $30 million. You know, somewhere in there. I used to think 40 going to be the highest paid defensive player, and they're going to give him the bag. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that yet. No, remember, guys, there's more that goes into it than just like how good a player can be on the field. There's a discipline thing. There's a player professionality thing. If you don't think Jeffrey Lurie, guys, believe me, I know about the inner workings of this organization. Jeffrey Lurie, I can only imagine how livid he was at that Dak Prescott spitting incident on that. Now I know it's week 1, it's water under the bridge at this point, but believe me, the owner does not forget stuff like that.
It's not water under the bridge when you've got a contract coming up and you're going to use that against that player. All of this stuff is scoreboard right now when your contract is going to be negotiated. What'd you make of Devontae Smith barking out that on the sideline, telling that the coaches, hey, these pass plays are open downfield? And it took him until the second half to really get that thing moving in the second half. What'd you make of all that?
So,
he's becoming – do you agree he's becoming more vocal?
Definitely is. But I'll say this about that because I think people go a little too far with it, but I think there is some level of concern. For example, there's people on Twitter like, now Devontae Smith is the offensive coordinator. And I'm like, guys, offensive sidelines – that's part of the game. It's always a collaborative effort. Players are always going to have some input. And that was John's take, that it basically means nothing. And I think that's the other extreme. I don't think it means nothing because when you're looking at the defense that Flores was running yesterday that we've already talked about, and you're running the ball under center and it's the same play and you're getting 0 yards, like I think it takes a Pop Warner. Like, let's run a play action. Let's run a double move with one of the best route runners in the game on man coverage on Isaiah Rodgers. Like, hello? Like, I almost shouldn't need Devontae Smith to do that. So I think that's where the concern lies. But that's a part of the game, man, where players, have input on the game like that. And I did think it was a little interesting. The one part I heard about it, which was interesting to me, was apparently Devontae also went to like Landon to get him on board. I think it was Mailata or Lane Johnson who said that. And I'm like, so he had a filibuster with the offensive line to get to. Now I get it. The coaches have a plan, a player.
No wonder Jalen Hurts gave Kevin Patullo credit for the pass down the middle of the field because Devontae's comments looked and seemed a little bit, could be perceived as subversive. Just a little bit. I'm not saying he was. I'm not. Listen, I take what he says more valuable than what AJ says.
Who, Devontae?
You bet. And I'll tell you why. That guy's not going to fucking open his mouth for anything. That guy was coached differently. That guy comes from an old school mentality where, guess what? I'm here. If we win, I don't care what it looks like. He is now, when he opens his mouth, That guy was a teammate. Me, hey, AJ's going to open his mouth, do the stupid Twitter shit. He's going to be that. When that guy Devontae opens his mouth, Xander, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
What did he say? What did he say? Who said that? Devontae said that?
The only time I've ever heard Devontae Smith chirp on Twitter was what? You got to know this. You have
me.
When Devontae Smith signed his, for anybody new to the program, when Devontae Smith signed his contract, the very first thing Devontae did, and I mean like an hour after the news broke, he tweeted at Dan Sileo show with the little, I don't even know what it was, like an otter emoji.
Yeah.
Because Sileo used to say back in the day, you'll never pay 2 wide receivers.
Oh, I know. It was this emoji when he was like this.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, so everybody got to go check that out. That was hilarious. That's the only time I've ever seen Devontae was the chirp at Big Silz. So for anybody who thinks that they're not hearing what Big Silz has to say, you are sadly mistaken. But that was classic. That's the only time I've seen him lash out on Twitter. But
okay. So
I'm at the point where I'm more on Team AJ here. I have been consistently, but you just saw it yesterday. Like, dude, let's open this thing up a little bit, bro. Come on. We're driving a Ferrari like it's stuck in first gear. The thing's in, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Open the thing up a little bit. All right. If it fails, all right, I'd rather eat my dirt that way. Honestly, I would.
Okay. So I heard that there's a new name being brought up for edge rusher. It's called Clyde Simmons. So I think they're trying to get Clyde Simmons out of retirement and BG. Okay, dude, so I'm seeing conflicting reports. I've seen some where they say they're not doing it. I've seen some. I saw Schefter put that out there yesterday. Do we have any insight on what's going on with Brandon Graham? Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. John, the way John was speaking about it this morning kind of felt like it was inevitable. You know, normally John only will speak like that if he's got some intel on it. So I think it's going to happen, but I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. You know, I'm kind of excited about the move because Brandon Graham is one of my all-time favorite Eagles. I think most people could say that. An all-time good man, good guy, good player, exceptional player, made a difference, big plays, big moments, does stuff for the community, lives in the city. Like, he checks every box for an Eagle legend. He really does. I hope we don't tarnish the beautiful ending that he had.
No way.
I don't think it would, but I don't know. I don't know how much of a difference he's going to make on the field.
Not on the field, in the locker room.
He was playing good pre-injury last year.
In the locker room. In the locker room, it'll make a difference.
Roll Philly says he's a Jalenite. Yeah, well, he's allowed to be a Jalenite. He plays with the guy, Roll Philly.
I think he brings leadership inside the locker room. I do.
I agree with that. Young team, young defense.
Yeah.
I think that helps for sure. I agree with that.
How do you think they're going to handle this New York Giants game?
Smack him in the mouth, man. Don't even let that team think. That last week was a fluke. Stop, dude.
Okay.
That New York Giants team is not our team. It's not on our level. And anybody who thinks they are, fuck that. Come out there, play Eagle ball, slap them in the nose. Come on, man. Do whatever you have to do. Run, pass. I don't give a shit. Dominate that team. I think they're capable of doing it, and I think they're going to come in with the same mentality. That mentality, by the way. Somebody was like, Xander, you were awfully mean last week. I'm like, yeah, we lost to the New York fucking Giants.
No. You were beat up by the Giants.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm not going to be in a good mood after that. So I think we take it to them. By the way, I think they're a little. I know John says there's no transitive properties, but I think if
somebody kicked my ass 2 weeks ago, I want to fucking fight that guy.
What about the emotional roller coaster they just went on yesterday?
You know what? Let me just hook you up on something. If I got my ass handed on national television like that, and I got beat up like that, and I got that early of a proximity to replay that team, I want to play 60 minutes at home against that team. And guess what? I want to see you do that again to me because I don't believe it.
Yeah, I agree.
I couldn't wait to get on the field and fight you. Holy cow, I couldn't wait to get on the field to fight your ass.
Yeah, well, I hope we beat the shit out of them because we should never lose to that team. Fuck that team. That team is not ready to compete with us.
Okay,
Stop.
I want that mentality.
Well, here's so I know people don't like to hear this after a big win, but here's the concern I think still for this team right now. Obviously the offensive line, But I think from a big macro picture, it's like, what is the identity still? And I think Jalen had a great answer on this, where he talked about this actually in a rare moment where Jalen kind of opens up on things, and he's like, everybody loves this like identity conversation because they want to know how you're going to win games. And I think when you get further into the season and you lose player and different things come, you just try and win a game, however you have to win a game, run, pat, whatever the case might be. But I'm still looking at this coaching staff, and I don't think they know what to do. I really don't. I don't think they know what to do. They don't know what to establish. And last week you had a good matchup where Brian Flores plays all this man coverage. Jalen torches them through the air. Well, the Giants didn't play any man coverage last week. And the Giants have a better D-line to get home with 4. So if they play 4 and they got 8 in coverage and they're playing cover 2 or cover 4 or whatever they might play in the game, what is that? Are we going to try and run the ball still? Is it going to work? Is it going to be the same fucking inside zones 48 times into the same offensive lineman who can't block? Is it going to be Jalen letting the ball? Like, I still don't know yet what this team is great at. What are they great at offensively? They were great yesterday, but what are they great at week in and week out? What can be their crutch? I don't think we know that yet. And that's probably the number one thing. Like even yesterday, Silz. Let's be real for a second. Pull the onion back a layer. Beautiful performance by Jalen Hurts. Not taking anything from him. This is more on the play caller, in my opinion. You had 3 drives of touchdowns. Okay. You had still a couple many, I think 3 and out.
3 and 10.
Right. 3-10 on what? Third down? Yep. A bunch of 3 and outs in the football game. I saw no rhythm in the play caller. You had a great drive. I mean, there was one drive yesterday. Jalen Hurts had a 3rd and 15. He scrambled out to his left, kept his eyes downfield, and he made a throw right before he crossed the line of scrimmage. He picks up a first down to Devontae Smith. The score was 21-16 at the time. They drive down further. Jalen is humming, and you do a 3rd and 5 inside zone. Get stuffed. You have 4th and 6. They missed the field goal. Like, I just thought that was awful play calling right there.
Inability of the play calling.
Feel for the game.
It's
a bad feel for the game.
Situational play
right.
calling.
So it's like, and even then yesterday also, did you see any underneath stuff? Did you see any easy quick passes? Did you see any good slants? Did you see any out routes? Did you see any bubble screens? They're not giving Jalen anything easy. Like even yesterday, he had 19 completions and he had 326 passing yards. Think about that. That is a lot of fucking passing yards for 19 completions. Now, while that's a beautiful thing, that's also probably not something that's going to be consistent week in and week out.
It's not.
So that's where I'm like, this offense still has a ways to go in order to be consistent week in and week out. And I think that's where you're looking right now. But again, I think the team is in a better spot, obviously. I think Jalen feels a little bit of mojo back, which is a good thing. I think the team got their mojo back, which is a good thing. A.J. Brown probably got his mojo back a little bit. And now I'm curious to see where they go from here. But get that mentality back, man. Come in, you can dominate games and start to do it. I think they'll be able to.
When you heard fucking crazy stuff from yesterday's games, Matthew Stafford had 21 completions and 5 touchdowns on those 21 completions.
Dude, they torched that team.
And
they destroyed that. Now, I know we were doing our pregame show, so I didn't catch all the game, but
21 completions on 5 touchdowns.
How many yards did he have?
I don't think he had a lot. I think he had 180.
Devontae Adams had 3 tutties. They had no Puka Nacua.
Dude, he had 182 yards passing and 5 touchdowns on 21 fucking completions. It's insanity.
Yeah, but think about it, though. 21 completions, 180 yards, whatever it was. Jalen had 19 completions for 330. Again, it's a beautiful number. It's a great stat day. But is that something you're going to rely on week in and week out?
No.
Probably not. That's where this all and I put that solely on the play caller. Your offense has to build rhythm into it. You can't expect Jalen to be the quarterback, be the offensive coordinator, call things at the line of scrimmage, make all the big throws, devise a game plan, get rhythm play call.
I don't know why the media has a problem ripping these coordinators sometimes.
I'm sorry, but John's driving me crazy with it. Every time I bring it up on the morning show, John basically calls me a dumbass. He's basically like, well, what are you talking about? It's the coordinator. Oh, when they play bad, it's the coordinator. When they play good, it's Jalen Hurts.
You're not.
Dude,
I hear you. I hear you. I agree with you. I agree.
I don't think these play callers are giving this team an advantage right now. And I'm not the kind of guy that jumps right to play call.
No. No.
I think there's nuance. I really do, but I don't think they're doing a good job.
You know,
I rewatched the game today, and that was my biggest takeaway. Play callers, man.
Okay, Cam Jurgens right now, status is unsure for the Giant game.
Yeah, Nick gave another bullshit answer. Oh, I haven't talked to the medical staff yet. Yeah, right. The head coach of the team didn't talk to the medical staff for an update after an MRI on his starting center. Bro, I'd rather you air a steaming pile of dog shit than force feed it to me like you do with Nick Sirianni. I hate shit like that. I really do. I hate being lied to, Silz. I hate being lied to.
Hey, and you mentioned something about identity. Okay, let me. Identity is a media word, and I get it sometimes. But the identity last year was, you know what it is? We beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah, it was bully ball.
It wasn't really this or that. We just beat you up. And guess what? We had 5 plays. We're running here. And they told you where you were running. You were domination. Domination of somebody or a team is an identity. And it's also, get this, it's a mentality. You're talking to me about this. Well, guess what? We're going to have to do this. We're going to have to. No. When you play defense is not a position. It's a mentality.
Yeah, I love that take.
Okay? You got to play here and you got to play. No. When you play defense, you got to want to fucking hit somebody and knock them the fuck out. That's a mentality that you possess that is given to you, and you have that in you because you play on that side of the ball. That is something that's innate. Hey, I don't play D tackle. I play defense. That's what they had, and they've lost. They don't have that yet. Okay?
So, I mean, is part of the identity here, I agree with you, by the way, 100%, but is part of the identity becoming win whatever way we can?
That's too loose for me. I want to do this.
Aren't they kind of built that way? Like, if you think about it, they have playmakers everywhere.
Now on defense.
But even on offense, like they have playmakers everywhere. They don't always use them.
Yes.
Like you come into a Vikings game, their method on offense
and they're still in it.
Is Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. You go to the Bengals. Their method for success is Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Right.
Like the Eagles have great players. They don't always use them. Sometimes they run. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes Jalen runs. Sometimes he passes. They're kind of one, and I'm okay with that because I think, like Original Philly, I think let me find the comment. It was a good comment. Original Philly doesn't have many of them. No, I'm just kidding. Original Philly. Don't get too worked up, big guy. But he just had a comment on identity. I'm going to pull it up here and see what you think. He says, I think that is the identity. That's why they say they want to find ways to win. They want to change based on what they think will work.
No. I'm going to inflict my will on you. Is the mentality.
Look at the playoff run last year.
They inflicted their will on you.
First 2 games they didn't. Packers and Rams game.
Didn't they run for over 200 yards?
Yeah, my bad. They inflicted their will in those games. It was the later games where it was a little bit of a different.
Okay,
like there were different styles of the way they won those 4 games.
The NFC title game was Super Bowl. The NFC title game was a little more balanced, and the Super Bowl was more like yesterday.
Super Bowl was defensive.
Okay, that's right. They inflicted their will on defense.
I mean, I know people don't like the people got very mad at me yesterday because I said in 10 years from now we're going to look back at that as the Vic Fangio Super Bowl. People were not having that take, which is fine, but I do think that's going to be the case. I'll stand by my take on it.
I'm a big person in inflicting your will.
First half of the Super Bowl, we went into the halftime up 24-0. Remember, we had Cooper DeJean pick 6 in the first half, and we had a Zach Bond interception inside the Chiefs' own 10-yard line or 15-yard line. So the defense kind of got you 14. Now, the offense deserves credit for getting in, but I'm just saying the defense really imposed their will in that game. Jalen obviously took advantage of it off the route, but I don't know, man. I don't know where this team goes from here. That's my big because as great as yesterday was, what are you building on there? The pass game? Are you becoming a pass team? I think we should become a pass team. I really do. At least for the next 5 weeks.
That's finesse then.
Yeah, I don't think you have to do it in a finesse way. I'm not saying get cute.
Well, if you're not running the ball and all you're doing is throwing, that's
Well, you're
finesse.
always going to have the running advantage with Jalen because Jalen does give you that +1, which forces defenses to play it different.
Yeah, but is he a power runner, you think? You want him
No.
in power running
No, he's
situations?
not a power runner.
That's more finesse. You get away from being a fucking guy. Dude, I want to take my fist here and just put it down your throat like you did last. Dude, the problem was, I don't know if any of you ever seen Last of the Mohegans. That movie where that guy rips that heart right out of someone's chest. That Indian guy rips that heart right out of that guy's chest.
Yeah.
That's what you did last year to people. You just
Wait,
ripped the heart out.
Brian says, I don't know, Xander, Jalen ain't running all that great this year. Well, I'm going to point something out that I think should be a positive for the fan base to think about. A lot of times, I think Jalen, when he runs, as great as it is as an asset, sometimes when you're a quarterback and you run, you drop your eyes and you stop looking downfield, and you might get 8 yards, but hey, maybe you miss a big play down the field, and that's just part of being a running quarterback.
Also, it creates a habit. It creates a habit in the passing game that you're not looking that far down the field. And
But go watch a game yesterday.
One of the things I noticed
every scramble.
One of the things I noticed yesterday was that he didn't have a lot of running yards. I think that created him looking downfield more.
Well, that's what I'm saying. First game in his career yesterday, he had no rushing yards, -10 again, because he had kneel downs and whatever.
Without the rushing yards, it forced him to look downfield.
I'm just saying
that's a good thing.
Like that 4th and 4 touchdown to AJ. Go rewatch the tape. Jalen could have ran and picked up a first down and got 7 yards. Instead, he kept his eyes downfield and picked up the big play. There was a 3rd and 15. Jalen's rolled out to the right. He had A.J. Brown on the sideline. Instead of running the ball and turning the corner, he got the ball out. The 3rd and 15 on the left side to Devontae Smith. He scrambled out to his left, kept his eyes up and downfield, moved the football through the air. I thought that was a positive sign. I've always said Jalen is a great runner, but I would love to see him keep his eyes up more because he's got such great receivers who can make defenses pay, and I've always thought that would kill defenses. I thought he did that great yesterday. By the way, Abuka is playing tonight.
I think Mike Evans is too. You haven't seen Mike Evans yet?
I don't. Let me see.
Dude, who do you like in that game tonight? Detroit at home?
I like the Bucks.
Man.
I know it's against the grain a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the Bucks.
I think that thing's going to be really close.
I think Baker Mayfield is the perfect mentality quarterback to walk in there and beat that team.
Hey, listen, I put these somebody asked me this question.
Bucky Irving is out in that game?
Yeah. But that kid White's had a really good season for them.
So he's not on their inactive list. Mike Evans is not on their inactive list. They got Brewer, Castro, Godwin, Haggard, Irving, Vildor, and Williams.
Okay, well, that means Evans is playing. So Evans and Booker are playing tonight. That helps against that safety because remember, Brian Branch is also out because of the suspension back there. Yeah. And what's his name? Arnold is also out too.
Yeah, they got Kirby Joseph, who's a great player. But
great player.
I love the way he trash talks people after. I love it.
Hey, here's my 5 teams. And by the way, you could put them in any ranking. I don't give a shit. AFC, I can't believe it, but I got Colts. I put the Chiefs back up there, man. Dude, you know what? I'm sick and tired of going against 15.
Yeah. That dude's unbelievable, man. That again, wait, real quick though, before you go on. This is part of why I said my take about the Super Bowl. I know people are mad at it. Shine was just in here bitching me about it. Jalen Hurts was the MVP. I'm not taking away from Hurts, but you have a player. Think about it. You have a player in Patrick Mahomes who's going to be the GOAT of our generation.
Yeah.
And there was a Super Bowl that he was held on his side of the field for 10 drives. That will be a story in 10 years when Mahomes is retired. Just like Nick Foles beating Tom Brady is now.
Yeah.
That'll be a story for sure.
I got the Patriots 3rd.
Drake May is a stud.
Boy, is he ever. How about, did you see the Titan fans cheering Mike Vrabel?
Were they?
They were chanting Mike Vrabel. Vrabel.
Oh, my gosh.
He's running off the field like this. Look, Xander, he's running off the field, and he's got his fist in the air, and he's going like this. I
got to watch that. I'm a Vrabel guy. I like Vrabel.
Me too. I got the Bills 4, and I'm still going to keep the Chargers at 5. I know they got
No. You can't do that, dude. They got blown out yesterday.
Okay, then what other team would you put there? Steelers?
Geez, the AFC is shoddy.
Yeah, I don't really see it.
Holy shit. Dude,
Who
the Ravens are falling off.
Who would you put in there? Denver then? Either Denver or the Steelers.
I guess Denver.
Okay, I'll go with Denver.
Who was your? You didn't rank them. You just put 5.
No, I did here. Colts, Chiefs, Patriots, Bills, and Chargers. If you want to take the Chargers out,
I'd probably go Denver.
Okay, Denver or the Steelers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem with that. How about NFC? I got Lions, Bucks, Eagles, Packers, Niners.
I'm gonna take off the Niners. I know they're playing good right now and they're winning games.
Mac Jones is fucking a player.
I know, but dude, they don't have Fred Warner or Nick Bosa.
I got it. That kid 48 that they got in there as a replacement can fucking ball. By the way, Christian McCaffrey.
I might go Rams there.
Okay, the Rams. Okay, that's all right. Take the Rams there. Okay.
Wait, so who were your 5? Eagles,
Lions, Bucks, Eagles, Packers, Niners.
I'm gonna take the Packers off too, bro. I'm not a Jordan Love believer. I'm sorry. I know they're winning games. I'm gonna go Bucks, Lions, Eagles. Eagles are still my 1. I'm gonna go Rams, and
Packers are 4-1-1.
I'm gonna go Seattle.
Okay, I like Seattle. How about this on McCaffrey? 960 yards rushing. He's on pace for 130 receptions and 1438 in receiving yards and 14 touchdown catches. Bro, that guy's on the field. He is a weapon. I mean, his problems have been obviously have been health.
Yeah,
right?
No doubt.
All right. So Xander threw a shot at me here earlier.
I didn't throw a shot at you.
How about this one? Well, not really. How about this one? So what was your takeaway on that James Franklin interview on
about this? Yeah, I did throw a shot at you. Well,
okay.
So you're basically insinuating, and I want to speak for you, that Nick Saban is speaking out of his ass or is a puppet.
I'm saying that Nick Saban went down the line of everybody that was on that desk that went and said this. Nobody addressed the number one thing. If you're going to have a guy like that on game day, okay, and you know that guy just got fired, that would be like me interviewing James Franklin and not addressing the 4-21 in the top 10. That was never brought up.
Would you?
I would. I asked.
You would address the firing, but would you address James? You were 4-20.
I would ask.
Part of that is you taught me.
No, I would have phrased it. I would have phrased it like I did with Doug. I would have said,
"You're good at phrasing."
Okay, I would have went like this to Franklin. Coach, how much do you think the record against those top 10 teams played a factor in you being fired?
Well, Reese did ask that, bro. Reese said you've obviously or have been open about your record against top teams. Do you plan on changing anything? That's what he said. That's what Reese Davis said to him.
It just sounded like a glaze fest.
It was a little bit of a glaze fest, but let's be real. It was Nick Saban who made it sound like a glaze fest. Nick Saban unleashed on Penn State. And I'm not of the belief that Nick Saban can be told what to say. Maybe he can. Maybe I'm wrong about it. I believe when Nick Saban tells me that organization did you wrong, coming from a guy who's been as successful as Nick, that holds a little bit more water to me than some guy on Twitter who's crying about Penn State losing.
Well, then you tell me, how would Alabama people feel about Alabama? Some guy was 4-21.
He would have already been fired at Alabama because the standard was higher. Remember, James Franklin resurrected that organization. I know they had Bill O'Brien and stuff before.
Then why is he upset with Penn State doing the right thing? They gave him $50 million out the door too, dude.
I'm just saying, I think from Nick Saban's point of view, this is an organization that is
Alabama would have never treated Nick Saban the way that Penn State treated James Franklin, because you know why? They would never have given Nick that latitude to go 4-21. And for Nick to go in like that, I was like, bro, your own place wouldn't have done that. They would have fired Mal would have fired you in a second.
I think Nick's point was more though about bringing Penn State back to relevance in terms of, guys, Penn State hasn't been in the playoffs in how many years?
Yeah, but
they weren't even barely a fucking top 25 team.
Wasn't it Bill O'Brien that settled the waters there right after?
Definitely. He did, but settling the waters is different than rising you back to relevance. I mean, he was in the fucking semifinal game last year.
Okay, you're telling me you don't think someone else could have went in there and did the same job going 4-21, beating up on Rutgers and Maryland?
No, I don't.
Really? You're telling me you don't think Lane Kiffin? You don't think Lane Kiffin?
About Franklin, he's a great recruiter, dude, and he's got away with people. He deserves credit for that.
I tell you what, I went like this because people asked me this morning, do I think he's a candidate for the Florida job? I went, abso-fucking-lutely not. I go, would I never want to see that guy? You know who I'd like to see at wait a minute, I'll take it back. Dion.
I like that too. I'm a big Lane Kiffin guy, so I like Lane Kiffin.
Boy, how about Lane up at Happy Valley, man? That would be insanity.
But Lane had a tough loss this weekend. By the way, you can't go down the college football route on this Monday morning without bringing up your Miami Hurricanes.
Oh, completely an egg layer.
By the way, I want everybody in the chat tonight. I want you to listen very closely right now. Okay?
This guy's an asshole here.
Whenever Big Silz rips on you for being an Eagle fan or an Eagle guy, I texted Silz after that game and I said, Carson Beck just dropped a stinker.
He's giving you behind the scenes shit here.
Carson Beck shit the bed. You know, let me read you verbatim what Silz replied to me. It was egregious. It was an egregious reply.
Let's wait. Let me set it up first. Listen. I never thought about it until right now on what he's going to tell you guys.
You know it's a bad one. It's bad.
It is. This is awful. Go ahead.
This is his cop-out. I don't think any QB in college football hasn't had that one shit game. I said, Silz, you sound like a fucking Jalen Hurts fanboy right now. That's what I hit Silz with. So whenever you want to get back at Silz, he is a Miami fanboy. Carson Beck shit the bed versus that team.
Do you know what somebody said to me too? Because I had a Gator guy on. Hey, Sileo, did the Kings play this week? I go, hey, yeah, you know that guy that I was going to give my Heisman vote to, that Alabama quarterback? Didn't he turn all over himself in that FSU game?
Yeah, that first game of the year. That thing is history.
That fucking team is 3-4 now, by the way.
Yeah, but that game, sometimes it's better to lose.
Shut up.
Beat Georgia, beat Vanderbilt, beat Tennessee this weekend. I beat Missouri.
He is.
I got him, baby.
Dude, I got him.
Where's the Ohio State fanboys in the chat? Let's go, Ohio State.
Hey,
you
bro,
guys beat a bunch of trash cans.
I'll tell you what, that
7-0. You guys have beat a bunch of sticks.
Hey, Xander, I think that Indiana team's real.
Oh, yeah. Kurt Signetti is a boss, dude. Freaking love that coach.
Hey, that is a big time program now.
I think Alabama might be the best. Dude, I know you like the Bama quarterback.
I do, man. I'll tell you what I did. Here's where I put them. So I released my ballot and I put my ballot up. And here's my top 10. Tell me if you like these top 10 teams. By the way, you got the Bucks tonight?
I got the Bucks. Isn't there 2 games tonight?
There is 2 games. Houston and Seattle.
I hate these doubleheaders.
Get this though. If Houston wins, they're back to 3-3 on the season. And
wait. I gotta bring this.
Started out 0-3.
HKP with the comment of the day. What happened to my damn camera? Come on, camera. Indiana puts 0 fear in my heart. They're a good team, but I'm with you, HKP. We're the Alabama Crimson Tide. You think we're fucking bowing down to Indiana? Come on, Silz.
They beat Oregon.
Oh, they beat Oregon. Oh my God.
Okay, here's my teams.
That team doesn't fear.
I got Ohio State 1. I got Indiana 2. I got A&M 3. I got Bama 4.
Oh shit, A&M 3.
I got A&M 3. I don't believe in them though. I got Alabama 4
team this weekend.
I got Georgia 5. Well, you got a loss, dude. I got Georgia 5. I got Oregon 6. I got Miami 7. I got Ole Miss 8. I got Georgia Tech 9. I got Vandy 10. And I got Notre Dame. They're at 11. I got BYU 12. Oklahoma 13. Louisville 14. Virginia 15. And I got USF 16.
All right. I like your ballot.
I mean,
well, I would make a few.
The only reason I kept Miami in the top 10 is because
Miami's still a top 10 team, dude.
Because get this, 4 teams lost in the top 10.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I said to you, the rest of the results on the weekend for college were great for Miami. Now,
and Notre Dame beat Southern Cal, so that helped.
Why do you have A&M so high? They have 1 ranked win versus Notre Dame.
You know, I didn't regret it, but here's my takes on A&M all the time. They just never come through. They have so much talent on that team. They're good, dude. They're good. They just don't come through.
You know who I hope gets exposed more and more? And we're going to have a chance to play him in a couple weeks.
Vandy?
Brian Kelly at LSU.
He sucks so bad. I hate him.
I hate that guy, dude.
Me too.
I don't say that word often. I do not like him.
Me too. I am not that guy.
Hate's a strong word, but I call him
like the main Cajun. He thinks he's from like Louisiana, and he talks like he's down from Louisiana. He's a
phony. I don't like phonies. Don't be a phony.
Yeah. Let's read these supers, bro.
All right, let's do it. Appreciate everybody for being here. All right. Dirty D checking in. How about them Canes, baby? LOAO. Go Dogs. Yeah, you guys dropped it a tie, too. I got to see Lane Kiffin get beat live. Oh, were you at the game? That is dope. That was a good game.
That was a good game. I thought both teams played pretty well in that game, man.
I thought Ole Miss squandered the game, though.
They did. They did.
I thought Ole Miss beat themselves.
Let me tell you what, Angelo's right. Some of those play designs that Lane comes up with, man. God, he's so good, man.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He really is good.
Yo, Flex, fuck your Buckeyes. You guys have beat a bunch of stiffs. You guys are pretenders right now, Flex.
You stole a title from us with that infamous flag in the Fiesta Bowl.
Aunt Betty rightfully ripping me for the word hate. Aunt Betty, you sound like my mom. You don't hate anybody, Xander. That's what my mom used to tell me. Chris Broussard says, do you think Dak is a Hall of Famer?
No.
I don't either. But I do think Dak, and Eagle fans hate to hear this, he's playing unreal.
Dude, the Cowboys are getting better.
I know. Silz, who sold you all off, even my friend?
No, they're getting better, dude. You know what's going to be their Achilles is that shitty D.
Yeah, well, obviously that defense is better. You know, Mark Holmes is hilarious, dude. I love watching him. You know what he's calling the Cowboy defense now? He says they're no longer the Cowboy defense; they're Cowboy 11 men on the field.
Hey, if Mark Holmes is watching, you truly are on defense doomsday.
Yeah, he's not. They're not in a good spot.
Not in a good way, though.
Here's Junior. What's up, Junior? I wonder how many players or how often some check in, if any, into 365 of the national show. They do check in. Trust me. They do. John tells me they do.
I know they do.
Yeah.
You kidding me, man? I get people. I get Britton Covey. He goes like this.
AJ has thanked John for support for backing him.
What's that?
AJ has thanked John for backing him.
I wonder what he thinks of me. He's blocked me.
I don't think AJ likes you very much.
No, he blocked me.
Yeah, he blocked me.
You know, guess what he did? He sent me a DM. He goes, I'm blocking you. I can't take you anymore.
Yeah, he blocked Jacob too. So and Sean, he didn't block me personally, and Sean says, why the elite QBs let mid-passing Hurts be the first this season to have 158.3 passer rating against the number 2 pass defense? I'm lost, Silz. And Sean, Hurts has delivered you the ammo to take this shot at Big Silz, and you can take it at me too, because I was tough on Hurts. But this is what I wanted to see, and I'm proud of him, man. This is where he deserves credit.
Hey, congratulations! He had a fantastic game.
Yeah, but I love this about Hurts as a fan. I do. When people put him up against the wall, me included, and you almost think they're out, it's just like Hurts responds, dude. He fucking responds.
Okay, is he going to respond these next 5 weeks?
Let's see. Here's Roland. Oh, we got that one. Thank you, Roland. All right, that's all of them. Thanks, everybody.
Big Z. So what do you think happens over the next 3 weeks?
I think the Birds.
You think they go 3-0?
Well, they got the bye week, which will be a good thing to see. I mean, who gets healthy in that bye, or maybe who gets hurt in the next week? Obviously, you don't want to talk about that, but that's always a part of the game. I think they win this week. I do. I don't think the Giants sweep us. I think they come back to earth a little bit.
Absolutely no.
So
But
I
by
think
the way, it'll be a catastrophe if
they're
they
6-2 heading into the bye, assuming they win this week. If they do get the win this week, and I think you can kind of reset, get to the bye, get healthy, and then come out and play Eagle football, whatever that might be in that week. And I don't know. I don't really know what to tell you that is right now, to be honest.
You head to Lambeau right after that, coming out of the bye. So
I don't like that. I'm sorry, but
Is that Monday night at Lambeau?
Is that the Monday night game?
I think it's the Monday night game at Lambeau. And then you follow that up with the Lions.
Yeah, Lions are a tough one. The Z Homer is back. I love it, Pietas. I am on it.
I didn't get that Xander was homering.
I
don't get that.
I said this morning on my show, I have to be honest because I do this every day. And if you know anything about me, which I get, people know me from the shows, but in my personal life, I get myself into trouble because I'm too honest with people. I can't lie. I've never been able to do it. Even when I was in the principal's office as a kid, I used to be so honest. The principal would be like, just defend yourself. I'd be like, I did it. I don't know what you want me to say. So I'm never going to lie. I always tell you how I feel. And right now I do feel like the Eagles still have a great roster and a great team. They just got to put it all together. And I think that's still fair to talk about. And we'll see where they go from here. But
I got one more for you here.
Yep.
Besides this one here, I think he's doing a great job for his first time at being a head coach in Dallas. I do.
Thoughts on Schottenheimer? Great. Excellent. Yeah. I mean, got to give him credit, right? I mean, he got Dak back, so I think there was a built-in, they were going to be better, and they traded for George Pickens. But I think he's done a really nice job. Now that defense, I don't know. You want to blame Jerry for that? You want to blame? I don't know who you want to blame for that, but Schottenheimer's done a good job.
It is Jerry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw something that Ray Didinger. By the way, as soon as I get the book, Ray's coming on.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so I'll ask you this: you think Jalen Hurts will ever get the respect he deserves? Yes or no?
You heard that from Ray today on WIP, right? Where he talked about like we'll just never get it. Yeah, I think he'll get it.
Don't you think Brady never got it until the end? Because everybody always assumed that Manning, or people thought Manning was a better quarterback. But at the end, it was Brady.
Well, you got to remember this, and I don't know if Eagle fans understand this that much. And I'm not knocking Eagle fans because I didn't understand it until I went to Alabama and I became a really big Alabama fan. And you see how people shit on Alabama. When you're the best, some of this comes with the territory.
Oh yes.
You know that well, obviously, from your playing career.
And
if you want Jalen to be talked about the way he's talked about in terms of the best, if you want him to win as many Super Bowls, if you want him to have the success he's had, which is the record and all the accolades that he's built up in his career, part of it is going to be other people are going to take away from what he's done. And until he resoundingly, either hangs up the cleats or wins 6 Super Bowls or whatever the case might be, that's going to come. And my advice to fans would be just be real about Jalen. Don't worry about people who speak in the crazy terms. When Jalen has to be better, it's cool to say he's got to be better. When Jalen is great, it's cool to say he's great. But to sit here and act like it's all perfect all the time or he should never get any criticism, I think is a fairy tale land. And that's a good thing. Do you hear anybody talk about Bo Nix? You don't want to be fucking Bo Nix, all right? You want to be at the top, and people at the top get talked about. Good, bad, indifferent. Part of that is natural, and it's going to come with Jalen. He's also a very interesting player. I mean, dude, think about it. He has his best passing game versus fucking Brian Flores and the number 2 pass. Like, he's just an odd player. It's a weird, you know what I mean? Like, he's an interesting player,
Let me just say this to you. When you're most of the time on top, people always take shots on you.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Hey, It's just what it is.
87 national champions speaking over there. I get it, dude. I do.
And a 35-year fucking broadcasting career where people come in here every day taking shots at Big Silz.
Yo, will you stop looking for approval from fucking people?
I don't need approval from anybody.
You don't. I fucking hope you take that and you sleep with that.
You know what it is? I got a fucking merit badge right here on my
fuck the merit badge and fuck all them.
Big Z. I can't, by the way, I do not believe this Giant team.
Not me neither. Eagles are going to beat them boys.
By the way, this thing's going to be an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, Kelly Green week.
No way.
Yeah, Kelly Green week.
It's Jerome Brown Green. I might have to put the damn thing on for
baby.
For the pregame.
Break it out, Silz.
Hey, I may have to put the Jerome Brown thing on this weekend for that.
I love it.
Are you sure it's Kelly Green?
Yeah, it's Kelly Green week.
I'm gonna have to wear that.
Yeah, it's Kelly Green week, brother.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bro, I'll catch you in the morning, dude.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody.
Later, talk to you in the morning, brother.
Later, dude.
You got it. That is my boy Big Z. Great stuff, man. Make sure you catch Bird 365 out. How about this, guys? I haven't taken a break until right now. I have to. Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. That's because they win. They defend families across this great country each and every single day, making sure that insurance companies and other people do not take advantage of you and your family. It's been a crusade for Morgan & Morgan. Trust me when I tell you, when they see that logo coming, they know that Morgan & Morgan is going to defend you and your family. Whether you've been hurt in an Uber, at work, trust me when I tell you, they will defend you and your family like no other. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Silz or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Silz or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Silz sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
I'm doing this as I'm talking to you right now. The legendary Keith Byers will be on tomorrow, and we will talk to him on what's wrong with Saquon Barkley, if he thinks it's the offensive line. So one of the truly greats in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles will join us tomorrow, Keith Byers, and we will get his take. I'm going to take the Bucs tonight, 28-26. So we'll see you tomorrow. Big Z, thank you. Joe, thank you. 2 to 6 tomorrow. We'll see you on the flip side.